like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
This is a relatively new thing with the time between the end of the preseason and the opener. What's your philosophy of how you want to take advantage of the extra time, and yet you also want to let the guys get up on their feet?
Yeah. Look, we had a couple of days of walkthrough. we got out here and had a nice little practice today. Tomorrow we'll get a little bit more, and then they'll be off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll be back in on Monday. So I think there's a couple things. Look, you go through a tough, hard training camp, a lot of padded work, a lot of hot days, and so the most important thing is having your guys fresh and ready to go for the opener. And so that's kind of where we're at. And fresh and ready to go is as much mentally as it is physically.
Have you seen the bounce back you were looking for?
It looked pretty good today. Yeah, I thought they had a lot of energy today. I think our guys are excited, and we're anxious to kind of get rolling here.
When you waive a player that you want back on the practice squad, is there like a bit of nervousness when that player gets waived that another team might pick them up? How was that process?
Well, yeah, certainly there is. I think the problem is that we have all the information, and we don't know what the other teams are thinking. We know what we would be thinking in that situation, but they're not watching all of our practices. So, so there's that little bit of anxiousness. You don't really know for sure, but I think the reality is it's like 2 to 3% of the wave players get claimed. So it's not a huge number, and we like the guys that we got back on the practice squad.
Yeah, is there a position group that maybe in the spring that you were kind of watching and has grown into a strength, maybe a little stronger than you thought would be at this point?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, I think all the position groups have improved as we've gone through this. I would say there's kind of some unknown players that I think showed up for us. I didn't really know what we were going to have in Justin Evans, and feel really good about what we have. So I don't know that it's necessarily a particular position group as much as there was a few players that kind of caught my eye and was a nice surprise.
Would you would say like the two guys maybe that have caught your eye, through camp, and we talked about them both, Kirk Merritt and Dejon Dixon were those two guys that, now that they're on the practice squad, that those are the guys that, all summer or all camp long, you were like, all right, those are guys that we are targeting that could be potentially guys that could do something for us.
Well, I think there's a number of guys that are on our practice squad that, as we kept evaluating, we felt good about them being young players that we want to work with and we want to try to develop. And so I think those are two good examples, but I think there's a lot of examples on our practice squad.
How has your relationship with Pete Carmichael developed since your roles have changed within?
I would say there's probably a lot more communication between he and I. I wouldn't say that our relationship has changed any. I think it's always been a good relationship. We've always worked well together. I'd say there's probably been more communication just in terms of my understanding of how we're operating, offensively, and there's a lot of communication that he and I have in terms of roster management, potential active game day, and all those kinds of things.
Have you been able to learn from him as that's communication's grown?
Yeah, absolutely. We've always, I think to grow as a coach, obviously I'm a defensive-minded coach, and so to grow as a coach, I've always tried to be inquisitive with the offense in terms of how they see things and what they're looking at. It's kind of easier now that you're the head coach. You can just walk into a meeting and start up a conversation. So, but yeah, there's a lot that I've learned from just in this short period of time.
Dan, have there been things about Jarvis Landry that you found out about him since he's been here that you didn't know before he arrived?
Man, look. Here's what you don't know. You don't really know about the person. You know what you see on tape. You know what you hear, but you don't ever really know what you have until they're here in the building. He's been outstanding. He's been a great worker for us. Look, he's everything that we wanted, and he's been a good addition.
Yeah, what are some of the factors you and Mickey go over when you're forming your practice squad? Depth on the
I think the number one thing that we're looking for is players that we feel like we can develop. I think that's the first key, because we're in a developmental business, and you have to continuously train and develop young, talented players. That's just the way this league operates, and so that would be the number one thing that we have to look at. And then certainly there's some of the numbers game, in terms of, like, you have to have a certain amount of linemen to be able to have a practice. You have to have a certain amount of runners to be able to practice. So that's all kind of part of the equation. I think in a perfect world scenario, everybody's healthy, and we're getting the 16 best players that we can find that we can develop, and the ones that we feel like could go in and help us at some point in time.
All right, that's Dennis Allen on today's press conference. Shout out to the family members. Appreciate y'all for being in the live stream today. Please feel free to hit upon the like button. Please feel free to share the show on your social media feed: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit. Doesn't matter. Saints groups, it doesn't matter. It helps out the stream. Big ups to the fam. Appreciate each and every last one of y'all for being in this Wednesday edition of the Coma Hump Day. I hope you guys had a fantastic week. As week is getting over, man. It's about to turn into Thor's Day tomorrow. And a lot shaking in the Who Dat Nation as we kind of gearing up, getting ready for the Falcons for next week, Hate Week. But anyway, much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all for being here. Like I've been saying for some time now, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. I'm up in this thing. So shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all for in this live stream. Big ups to the fam, man. And that's Dennis Allen talking about guys and the guys that he picked to make the team. And of course, like I said, a really interesting, very interesting turn of events that happened in the with the roster. I think overall, the Who Dat Nation, just getting the pulse of the Who Dats and the Great Saint Think Tank, I think overall they approve of the moves that this Dennis Allen administration have been making with the black and gold. Is now most of the 16-man roster is just the developmental players. But you'll be hard pressed, and I said this on yesterday's stream, you'll be hard pressed to kind of define why certain people are still on the team when they were outperformed. They were totally outclassed by other guys. But nonetheless, we keep it moving as we go on, and I'm pretty sure those guys are getting an opportunity to resurface back to the active roster, because the reason why the guys that they got there, they have to step up and perform. So anyway, much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all for being up in this thing. I got that. I'm gonna play something by Keyshawn Johnson from the Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max show. We'll play something for you. Maybe a little after we cover some of these news notes and items. I'm gonna play a little interview. Cam Jordan and Mark Ingram popped up on their broadcast. I thought most of the family members, they probably didn't hear this, but I'm gonna play it, as Keyshawn obviously is a big advocate for the Saints. Of course, you know about the connections with him, and Michael Thomas is his relative. But what was interesting was his dialogue with Cam and Mark Ingram on that show. I'm gonna play some of that on the back end of the broadcast. So shout out to the family as we get it shaking and baking in this thing. So shout out to the fam. Please feel free, fam, to hit the like button if you hadn't hit it. Please feel free to subscribe as well. And shout out to our family members who hit the subscribe button recently. We up in this thing, man. This is the year the Saints is going to get that chip this year. This is the year the environment is conducive for the Saints' growth. There are definitely a noticeable amount of people that are definitely overlooking the Saints, which is fine. That's fine. Keep overlooking us. That's fine. Keep overlooking our quarterback. Keep overlooking our defense. And we are one of maybe 3 or 4 other teams that can pull off a move by getting rid of our starting slot cornerback. And we're gonna have a little discomfort with that thing. But the Saints secondary is so deep and versatile, we can move guys around and still make it work. So, we're gonna see how it shake on as this season moving ahead, man. So shout out to the fam. Thank y'all for being here as we're gonna get ready to get this thing popping. All right, here we go. We're going to start off with this article right here. The Saints announced the roster moves right here as New Orleans have been awarded. And this is right here from New OrleansSaints.com, their transaction alert list. And as you can see right here, New Orleans Saints have been awarded Tanner Owen off of waivers. Now, this is an offensive lineman, 6'5", 292. This guy is very athletic too. You know, I was looking at some footage of him tape. I also seen something on Twitter with him catching a pass with his hands. 6'5", 292, but he moves like a tight end, man, a mobile tight end. Not bad, man, for Tanner Owen, his athleticism. But the Saints get him from the Buffalo Bills and terminate the contract of one Dwayne Washington, which was very interesting. That was announced by the Saints, if people didn't realize that, from Mickey Loomis. So they claim the Buffalo offensive lineman, former Buffalo offensive lineman, as their own. So he'll be added on to the team practice squad. Then you have Dwayne Washington. Well, actually, let's see. He might be activated. This guy, if he's claimed off the waivers, more than likely. We'll see if he's on the. I think he'll be claimed on that. He'll be placed on the active roster if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna do some research on it though. But Dwayne Washington, fam. Dwayne Washington was put in the street. We're gonna cover that article too. Tanner, 6'5", 292, was originally signed as an undrafted free agent by the Bills in 2022 out of Northwest Missouri State. Spent the preseason with the club. The Kearney native began his college career at the University of Missouri in 2016, where he played in 4 games in the lettered 4th season at Northwest Missouri State, where he started all 52 games he played in. And in 21, he was a consensus Division II All-American selection and part of a Bearcat offense that ranked 13 in the nation, averaging 457.5 yards per contest. So not bad. Those are pretty damn good accolades for a Division II offensive lineman. He played in 52 games. Remember, we talked about this when the Saints were going to get these undrafted guys. They play, you know, the Saints look for the most seasoned, some of the most seasoned undrafted guys that played a lot of games. This guy played in 52 college contests. He was a Division II All-American selection. And we'll see how he operates as a backup, but mostly that's what his job is. He could be a nice developmental big for the Saints moving into the season. So that's who the Saints claimed off the waiver wire, only one guy. And of course, we cover this right here as the Saints release backup running back Dwayne Washington. Special teams ace is gone. And that's odd. And this Sigler on the scoop from Saints Wire per Wednesday's update to the Daily Transaction Wire. The Saints released running back Dwayne Washington, 28-year-old, appeared in 57 games with the Saints since joining them back in 2018, having spent the first 2 years of his career with the Lions. Washington left the team August 16 practice early with an undisclosed injury, and he hadn't been spotted often at the facility in weeks since. It's possible he needs a 4-week rest on injury reserve to heal up and aim for an early season return. But at this point, we just don't know. For what it's worth, the Saints did not, and I stipulate did not, release Washington with an injury designation, as is typical for somebody that could be possibly hurt or moving him to IR. So he could be moving, they could be moving on. Now he could be moving down the practice squad, so stay tuned for updates on Dwayne Washington. So what do you think about that? That's the Great Saint Think Tank. And remember, we talked about this, fam. Remember, I kept throwing out there the fact that the Saints are looking for versatility with their special team aces. You had JT Gray that won was a Pro Bowler last year. But I named a list of guys that if they don't perform in the room in which they're coming from, whether it's a cornerback, linebacker, running back, whatever, the Saints, you know, it's only so long they're going to keep a hold to you. Remember, and there's a list of them. Guys like Chris Banjo, who was a very excellent special teams player, but he was garbage when it come to playing that safety position. Justin Hardy, great special teams guy, garbage cornerback. And then, of course, you go now to Dwayne Washington. I ain't going to say he's garbage. I just think that he didn't get a fair opportunity. Well, I mean, Dwayne Washington over the years under Sean Payton, whether you was Latavius Murray or Dwayne Washington, when you're a north-south runner like those guys, they just didn't get utilized very often. Coach Payton liked the satellite backs. He liked to run these certain plays and didn't really have a lot of usage for north-south power runners, as the case with Latavius Murray. But Dwayne Washington, the Saints releases him in a surprise move, which he, according to look like he made the team. We did not see him. I didn't see much of him since that first preseason game when they got him in the first team offense. And after that, he just disappeared. Now, like he astutely mentions in the article, there is no designation of him being hurt. The Saints simply released him. It could be that they're moving on. There could be another running back they're looking at. So anyway, we'll keep it shaking and baking on that one. So y'all throw y'all thoughts in on Tony Jones Jr. as we move on to the practice squad. The New Orleans Saints have agreed to terms with the following players on practice squad. Contract was announced by and it's Josh Andrews, Taco Charlton, Dejon Dixon, running defensive back DeMarcus Fields, defensive back Vincent Gray, Chase Hansen, J.P. Holtz, Jordan Jackson, our 7th-round draft pick, undrafted tight end Lucas Krull, Nick Martin, the center, Kirk Merritt. Good thing we got Kirk back. Christian Ringo, good to see Christian Ringo back. Nephi Sewell, kick returner and return specialist Rashid Shaheed, and Eric Wilson. So good to get. We got 2 of our several of fantastic players we wanted to see. Taco Charlton is a good practice squad addition. DeJon Dixon is a good addition there. We like that a lot. Chase Hansen, I'm happy for that. J.P. Holtz, I'm happy for that. Jordan Jackson, I'm happy for that. Lucas Krull, and Nick Martin. And love the fact that Kirk Merritt and Eric Wilson is back. And it's a very good one for Nephi Sewell. Rashid Shaheed, obviously, we like him. And Christian Ringo, bringing him back was a solid move for the Saints defensive material line, because they were dealing with some injuries of bringing him back. Now, of course, bringing Christian Ringo back ties the Saints to, let me see, hold on here, to this one right here, which they talk about Malcolm Roach. That's right, the Roach he's sent to the IR. So Malcolm Roach is on the IR, which explains why Christian Ringo is here. Here's an update to one of the Saints' injury situations. Defensive tackle Malcolm Roach has been designated to the IR list per Nick Underhill, where he sit out the first 4 games of the season before an eligible return. The NFL adjusted its injury reserve rules in 2022 again, which now allow up to 8 players to return after being sent to reserve list, setting up a cap on unlimited return teams were able to use over the last 2 years while working around the C-19 absences. I thought that was a really good rule. And also Nick added that Roach is expected to suit up for the Saints as soon as possible in what would have been their Week 5 home game with the Seahawks. He just needs a few weeks to heal up after exiting their final preseason game with what appeared to be a lower leg injury, but details have been sparse. At any rate, look for the Saints to audition some veteran. They did bring in inside Christian Ringo to the practice squad. So there you go. And also, you know, their defensive tackles on the roster right now: David Onyemata, Shai Tuttle, Kentavious Street, another backup, and Elvin Huggins was lost to a season-ending injury late in the preseason finale. So the Saints a bit thin there, but they do have Jordan Jackson on the practice squad if they need to shake and bake to get them on over to that thing. So anyway, so while fans may be hoping for a high-profile free agent pickup like Sue, the Saints have been looking at budget-friendly options. Nick reports the team worked out veteran free agent Vernon Butler and Kiki Kingsley following the injuries to Roach and Huggins. All right, so he talked about who they are in this thing as well, but you know that the Saints did add him to the practice squad, but perhaps the Saints are maybe looking for maybe another veteran to add to the interior line. Now, we're going to have to do some research because I don't know if somebody signed Malcolm Brown, the big defensive tackle we have, but the Saints might want to take a look at Malcolm Brown and see what he's doing right now. I mean, you need help at the interior position, and he was released 3 weeks ago. And I don't think Malcolm Brown has been signed to anybody right now. I think he's still a free agent. Yes, he is still a free agent right now. So yeah, Malcolm Brown's out there, black and gold. If you got the imagination, go reach at that thing. Go get Malcolm Brown with the injuries building up there. But anyway, we'll keep it moving. All right, let's keep it going, fam. That's some of the stuff there. Let's talk about this one for all our book lovers out there. I wish I would have used that, book lovers, when we still had them. Saints quarterback Ian Book has found a new home. That's right. Ian Book, the book you love to hate, is no longer in the Who Dat Nation. That's right. New Orleans Saints quarterback Ian Book was claimed off of waivers by the Philadelphia Eagles today. Book was released by the Saints on Tuesday, proving to be inconsistent during the preseason while receiving the vast majority of the snaps. Book was forced into action as a rookie during the 21 campaign, starting for the Saints in that 20-3 loss to the Dolphins. In that game, he was 12 of 20 for 135, 2 interceptions. That really wasn't his fault, too. That was that offensive line. He was running for his life the whole game. The Notre Dame product showed nice athleticism and occasional glimmer of hope as a passer, but the Saints decided to release him after taking him in the 4th round of the 2021 NFL Draft. Book is the second former Saint to land with the Eagles this week after defensive back Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was traded to Philadelphia on Tuesday. So Chauncey has somebody who can keep, that he has a familiar face now, as the Eagles claim Ian Book, and they also have Chauncey. So there you go. Book's no longer on the shelf for the Saints. He's been sent to Philadelphia. All right, let's keep it moving. Saints and tight end Nick Vannett agreed to a restructured contract. This is coming from our good friends at the Saints News Network. New Orleans Saints restructured the contract of one of their offensive veterans to create cap space. So let's cover that and get into that. ESPN insider Phil Yates reports on Wednesday morning that the Saints tight end Nick Vannett agreed to a renegotiated contract for 2022. Vannett agreed to drop his base salary from $2.6 million to just over $1 million, according to Yates. The move creates an additional $1.5 million in salary cap space for the Saints. Vannett, 29, is entering the 7th NFL season. He was originally a 3rd-round choice by the Seahawks in 2016 out of Ohio State. Over his first 5 seasons, he caught a whopping 75 catches for 686 yards and an unbelievable 5 touchdowns with the Seahawks, Steelers, and Broncos. He then signed a 3-year deal by the New Orleans Saints last offseason, which boggled my mind why they just give him a 3-year deal. Vannett missed the first part of the 21 season with injuries. He appeared in 7 games for the Saints, hauling in 9 catches for 133 yards and 1 touchdown. He's 6'6", 261 pounds. Vannett's a more efficient blocker than he is a receiver. He was in on 51% of the Saints' offensive snaps during the 7 games, getting used as an inline blocker even out of the backfield. And don't get it twisted, Nick Vannett was able to leak out at times and and try to catch a pass or two. He has to work on catching them passes. That's what he really need to do. The New Orleans Saints tight ends offered next to nothing as receivers last season for an offense that ranked dead last in the passing yardage. Vannett was one of 4 tight ends kept on the initial 53-man roster for the Saints. The group includes Adam Troutman, who's the starter, Juwan Johnson, and converted athlete Taysom Hill. Vannett caught just 1 pass for 6 yards during the quiet preseason, where he again dealt with nagging injuries. And of course, the Saints would have cut Nick Vannett if it wasn't for the dumb dead cap money that they would have had to pay him, which would have been the $3.3 million. So the Saints working and making moves shake as they restructured the contract of Nick Vannett, freeing up $1.5 million in the black and gold building. All right. Of course, we're going to get into the practice squad here. 3 linebackers make the initial 15-man practice squad here. And this is what it looks like here as we run down it. It's well documented by Sigler. Shout out to him and the Saints Wire. Crawl worked really hard to stand out and hit. We're going to break it down by position groups. 2 tight ends on the practice squad. Lucas Crawl and J.P. Holtz. Crawl worked really hard to stand out during the first NFL training camp, having signed with New Orleans as an undrafted guy out of Pitt. So it's good to see him have more opportunities. Holtz spent some time at fullback working with several special teams units. Tight ends on the current 53-man roster include Adam Troutman, Taysom Hill, Juwan Johnson, and Nick Vannett. We got 3 wide receivers on the practice squad. DeJohn Dixon, the rookie Kirk Merritt returns here. It's good to see him there. And Rashid Shaheed is there. The Saints brought back their undrafted wideouts, Dixon out of Nicholls, Shaheed out of Weber State, as well as Merritt, one of their training camp standouts. They provide a nice mix of immediate depth and long-term development at the position. Other receivers on the current 53-man roster: Thomas, Landry, Olave, Harty, Marquez Callaway, and Traquan Smith. That's right, Traquan Smith. Offensive linemen: 2, Josh Andrews, the former Falcon, and Nick Martin at center. Both of these are veterans who specialize in lining up at the guard or center position. They brought a whopping 4,700 snaps between their 2 NFL careers thus far. It's impressive to see the Saints hold on to both of them. Other interior linemen is Eric McCoy, Pete Ruiz, Throckmorton, and Tanner Owen, which is a rookie. As you can see, that Owen is on the active roster. So yeah, I answered your question and my question. Defensive line. All right, let's keep it going. Taco Charlton, Christian Ringo returns, and Jordan Jackson. The Saints were able to retain Jackson after waiving their rookie draft pick. He was selected in the 6th round out of the Air Force, while bringing back their preseason pressure leader, Charlton, welcoming back Ringo, who was a free agent. Ringo spent most of the 21 season with the Saints, but hadn't signed with a new team after the season ended. Defensive ends on the current roster: Cam, Marcus Davenport, Peyton Turner, Carl Granderson, Passanio, and available defensive tackles are Onyemata Tuttle and Kentavia Street. 3 linebackers on the practice squad: Chase Hansen, Nephi Sewell, and Eric Wilson, all of which outperformed Zach Bowen, who is on there. Saints brought back other half of their depth chart at linebacker. Everyone cleared waivers and heard any others from other teams. So it's good to see so many experienced players back in the fold, as well as promising rookie who fought hard to earn his opportunity. The only linebacker to let go on Tuesday who hasn't resigned is John Bostic, but stay tuned and see what happens with Bostic in case he's a later robber. Linebackers on the 53-man roster is currently stands Davis, Werner, Caden Ellis, Dowell, and Bowen. For what? All right, and then, of course, cornerbacks, 2 on that practice squad: Vincent Gray, the rookie, and DeMarcus Fields, the rookie. We knew that. Both of these rookies showed some things in preseason and training camp. With Fields spending a ton of time covering the slot, they're both smart pickups for the coaching staff to work on the next few months. Corners on the current 53 depth chart are Lattimore, Adebo, Bradley Roby, and Alante Taylor. And, of course, who wasn't resigned? Derek Schwieger, Nick Lallos, and, of course, John Bostic. Abram Smith, the running back, Abram Smith, wasn't re-signed, but additionally, these players were let go during the previous wave of roster cuts and have not been signed. Brian Allen, Quentin Meeks, Josh Black, and Derek Kelly. So Abram Smith, could he be an addition there with them getting rid of Dwayne Washington? Could they resurface here with Abram Smith like they were supposed to? We'll see. All right. Anyway, let's keep it moving, man. As we go to the next article, then we'll jump into some depth chart stuff, and this is a bit of things to talk about right now. Defensive back or cornerback Paulson Adebo says he's day-to-day with an ankle injury. Not good to hear this, but second-year Saints cornerback Paulson Adebo wasn't even seen at practice on Wednesday. He received a quick answer as to why. Dennis Allen had told media after practice that Adebo is dealing with an ankle injury that he sustained against the Los Angeles Phone Chargers. When asked directly about his status, Adebo said that he's day-to-day with a left ankle sprain. He added that the injury happened in practice before the preseason finale with the Phone Chargers when he landed awkwardly trying to intercept the pass. The Saints have taken it slowly with him so far, and there's still a week and a half before the regular season kicks off. There does not seem to be any major concern around it as of now, but it's worth monitoring. The New Orleans Saints hope to have Adebo back for their first game with the Falcons. The Stanford product is primed to have a breakout second season as the Saints second boundary corner coming off an outstanding fall camp and preseason. If he sees a setback, look for the Saints to give another veteran, backup Bradley Roby or rookie draft pick Alante Taylor, the nod in his place, though assignments will be shuffled in the wake of the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson trade. So there you go with that, man. And I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but that Paulson Adebo will be dealing with an ankle injury, and I don't like to hear that as we get closer and closer to the regular season game. So Chauncey with an ankle problem, y'all. How y'all feel about that thing? All right, so let's move on, fam. Let's look at the official depth chart right here. This is straight off the New Orleans Saints website, by the way, for the source if you guys want to check it out. All right, and this is what you see here on the offense. You see from the quarterback position, Jameis and Andy Dalton, as Jameis is the starter there. Elvin Kamara, Prentice at fullback, Jarvis Landry here, Michael Thomas here, and of course you see Taysom Hill lined up there. Now, Mark, where's Chris Olave at? Okay, they got him back here, so it's kind of jumbled up. They got him at the third team, but you know what they mean. But this is what we don't know. Olave will be up here somewhere. But anyway, Adam Troutman with Taysom Hill. Offensive line has left tackle James Hurst next to Pete. McCoy's in the center with Ruiz and Ramczyk on the right side. You see Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, Chris Olave should be up here somewhere. Then you go to the second string. You see Callaway there and Penning, who should be placed. They got him on the active roster right now. But at some point, you think the Saints will probably end up putting Trevor Penning on the injury list. So we'll see. Why they hadn't done that yet is very curious. This could show something. We'll see before week 1 game. They still got some time to go before, because they can make that decision next week if they really want, in between now and next week, to know what's going on with Penning. Kelvin Throckmorton, Landon Young is there. And of course, you see Nick Vannett is there with Jawan Johnson behind him. Lewis Kidd's there as well. And of course, you see Traquan Smith for whatever reason with Chris Olave, Deontay Hardy. They got Traquan up here. He needs to be back here somewhere. Andy Dalton And of course, the running backs, Mark Ingram, Dwayne Washington is no longer on the team. They released him. Tony Jones Jr. is there. So as it stands right now, Kamara, Ingram, and Tony Jones are the only running backs the Saints have with fullback Adam Prentice. You go to the defensive side of things, you see Davenport, Tuttle, Onyemata, and Cam Jordan there. You see linebackers Pete Werner and Demario Davis, Caden Ellis at the Sam position, and then you see cornerbacks Adebo, Marcus May, Tyrann Mathieu, and Marshawn Lattimore. Second teams, Granderson, Roach is on the IR, Catavia Street, Passanio, and then you go Peyton Turner behind them. So they kind of jumble it up, but we expect them to kind of get that thing together. We'll get close to the season. Linebackers, Doel and Zach Bowen is there. And then, of course, you see Bradley Roby and Alontae Taylor as the backup cornerbacks, JT Gray, PJ Williams, Daniel Sorensen, that's right, and Justin Evans. And, of course, a look at our special teams unit, Blake Gillick, the punter, the great Will Lutz is there, as well as they get Will as the kickoff guy, long snapper, Zach Wood is there. So you can see those guys operating. Of course, the kick returner, punt returner, Deontay Harty reprises his role in the second, or the backup kick returner, punt returner, Marquez Callaway. So that's what they're showing. And of course, they even show you their practice squad as well. If you look at the Saints reserve or injured reserve, they got here reserve or injured. You see Ethan Greenwich is on this thing with Elvin Huggins is there. DeMarco Jackson, our 4th round draft pick linebacker, is there. Forrest Lamp, Smoke Monday, who the Saints put on this list, and Isaiah Pryor, who came out of college, was a safety, but the Saints kind of converted him to a linebacker, trying to develop him. Now you see the physically unable to perform list is tight end Dylan Soner, who's been on that list for a while. And of course, the reserve suspended list is Quan Baker, the former 7th-round draft pick for the Saints. He was suspended 6 games. The Saints decided to kind of use this list to stash Quan Baker there, and they possibly might move him to the practice squad once he comes off that 6-game suspension for PEDs. And then you can see once again the Saints practice squad here officially from their site. Josh Andrews, Taco Charlton, DeJohn Dixon, DeMarcus Fields, Vincent Gray, Chase Hansen, JP Holtz, Jordan Jackson, Lucas Krull, Nick Martin, Kirk Merritt, Christian Ringo, Nephi Sewell, Rashid Shaheed, and Eric Wilson. So there you go, family. There you go for this thing. So let's do a quick reprise here as we go over the transactions once again for the family members that might have been joining us. As well over 200 of us in the building. Please feel free to hit the like button. Shout out to the fam. Eric says, Q, they probably waiting to see what the doctor says after surgery on Pennon. Okay, yeah, that's good, bro. Thank you. All right, Debo says, PJ played in specific package. I'd never trust him as a true slot corner. PJ did get better, but you know, Coach Richard helping his development there. But we know our strengths and weaknesses, and we know even though PJ improved a bit, I most certainly would not trust him in a slot. I agree with you. I think we could find better options there. I think his key position is the safety position. I think that's where he shines, and I thought that's where he should have been. We were saying that before they made the switch when they were playing PJ at cornerback. I kept telling them you need to convert PJ to a safety because PJ is a big corner who loves the tackle. He comes up, he's fearless. He'll come up and knock you down. He'll push you down, knock you down. And they finally made that adjustment and said, yeah, we're going to convert him to a safety. Oddly enough, we said the same thing about Jawan Johnson. You need to take this dude and turn him into the tight end, and the Saints did it. We were saying it before they did it, then they did it. So, from a spiritual standpoint, you could be ahead of the curve on some of this stuff, man. And I've been doing it as long as we have been doing this type of stuff, man. We be saying that sometimes. We just be right ahead of the curve, sometimes way ahead, sometimes right ahead. So it's intriguing how it all balls. But anyway, New Orleans Saints awarded offensive tackle Tanner Owen off of waivers from Buffalo. He's on the active roster as a reserve, and then terminated the contract of Dwayne Washington. So Dwayne Washington, that's right, special teams ace and backup running back Dwayne Washington is no longer with the black and gold. He was released. Just to let you know that for people that hadn't known that Dwayne Washington has been released. All right, so anyway, let's keep it going. We also covered Malcolm Roach being placed on the IR. That's why Christian Ringo was brung aboard. That's just the practice squad, but there still could be a slot for someone to be added to kind of help out with Malcolm Roach, because we know the Roach had made the active roster. Could there be a Malcolm Brown meeting for the Saints? We'll see, man. We'll definitely see that. And of course, we covered the additions to the practice squad. We covered all of them and all the pictures. And this is pretty much all of the pictures of the guys right here. And that's big Josh Andrews, you can see right there, that's Taco Charlton. And these are the guys that's on the practice squad. That's Dixon, the wide receiver. That is Mr. DeMarcus Fields. This is Mr. Vincent Gray. And that's some of our young cornerbacks. That right there is Hanson, who's in street clothes right there because he gets hurt a lot. You see JP Holtz, who's the fullback tight end guy. That's our 7th-round pick, Mr. Jordan Jackson. This is Lucas Kroll, our tight end. This guy here is Nick Martin, brother of Zach Martin. And, of course, this is number 85. You know who that is, Mr. Merritt. And, of course, you see number 70 right here is Christian Ringo, our big defensive lineman. Good to see Christian Ringo back, by the way. He's a baller. Nephi Sewell. And, of course, you see Rashid Shaheed. That's a name you won't forget. And Baby Cam, as I call him, Mr. Eric Wilson. All right, shout out Brother Prime. He says they'll be smoking a lot of roaches on IR. I most certainly hope not. All right, so anyway, let's keep it going. And, of course, we talked about the fact that the Saints released, well, actually, they did release Ian Book. They cut him. And then the Philadelphia Eagles signed Ian Book onto their squad. Remember, they claim him. He's actually on the active roster. You know, they didn't claim him for the practice squad. They claimed Book to be on their active roster. So there you go. So Ian Book made an NFL team. It wasn't the Saints. He got on with Philly. He joins Chauncey Gardner in Philly. So that's that right there. I know we got plenty of jokes for that. And, of course, the Saints and Nick Vannett agreed to a contract restructuring. The Saints reworked this deal and will save $1.5 million. They'll save from reworking Nick Vannett's deal. And I asked the question before, why the hell we gave Nick Vannett a 3-year contract in the first place? Why didn't we give him a 1-year contract and make it proven? Well, you could thank homeboy Coach Payton for that because he's an Ohio State guy. Let's give him the bread. And, of course, Saints cornerback Paulson Adebo says he's day-to-day with an ankle injury. That's right, ankle injury for Paulson Adebo. They're saying it's not nothing to worry about, but you got a week and a half, so we'll make sure we damn sure monitor that situation with Paulson Adebo. We need our secondary healthy. And, of course, we look at the depth chart from NewOrleansSaints.com. They got a few things jumbled up in the offensive portion of it, and I'm pretty sure they'll work this thing out. And, of course, straight off their site, we covered the injured guys and the IR guys. Huggins on there, Ethan Greenwich is on there, DeMarco Jackson is on there, Forrest Lamps on there, Smoke Monday. And, of course, you go on down to the practice squad. You see, guys, all the practice squads we just showed the pictures of. Quine Baker's on the officially is on the suspended by commissioner list for 6 games for the PED usage. And that's what it is right now. So really intriguing and interesting, family, at the same time as this is the current Saints roster of everybody that's currently on the Saints roster. Daniel Sorensen's on that thing. 3 surprise players that made the Saints 53 this year. That really surprised me. 3 of them. Traquan Smith was the top of the list with him and Zach Bowen. That's number 1 and number 2. Or should I say 1A and 1B, really. But I'm really surprised by that because Traquan Smith didn't do anything. He dropped the end zone touchdown. He dropped another pass that was going to him. I think he got banged up on the play. But he's not banged up enough to be on the active roster. Zach Bowen was hurt for most of the preseason and the minicamp. He came in, he still made the team over guys like Eric Wilson, who was balling, you know, and of course Traquan over Kirk Merritt, who was balling. Daniel Sorensen made the team, you know, maybe because of the slot vacated by Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. The Saints didn't get a player for it, so you know that opens up maybe Daniel Sorensen there, even though they claimed to tackle, to the active roster. So and there he is right there, Tanner Owen, who's the newest Saint right there, besides Christian Ringo on the practice squad. Tanner claimed by the Saints, and he will be your reserve. He's on the active roster as your reserve. And, of course, no other names that they might have snuck in because every now and then I like to check it. Lewis Kidd was another guy, the undrafted guy. Lewis Kidd made the team. Really, that dude was the epitome of a long shot coming into this thing because he was like dead last in the depth chart, but he was like one of the only guys left that was healthy. So he was in there, and finally, credit to him, he was sticking around, was able to make an NFL depth chart. So never say never in the world. I promise you that. Don't ever say that. Look at Lewis Kidd. He ain't kidding himself, and he ain't kidding nobody, man. He made the team. So anyway, that's everything, fam. And like I said, man, we're going to get to the point now. We're going to go ahead on and we're going to play some interview right here by Cam from Keyshawn Johnson and Jay Will's show with Mark Ingram and Cam Jordan making an appearance on their show. Hit the like button, fam. I see we got almost 300 people in the building. If you hadn't had a chance, smash the like button and share the show on your social media feed. Here we go. Put one in the chat if you can hear it.
Hey, Cam Jordan and Mark Ingram of the New Orleans Saints. That's one of Key's Super Bowl favorites. And hosts of Trust Levels with Cam Jordan and Mark Ingram are with us now. What's going on, guys?
What up, y'all?
What's going on? What's going
appreciate
on?
y'all having us on.
What's good?
We big blessed. I mean, we can't call it today. I mean, another beautiful day, have another opportunity to hit the field, get ready for this week 1 for next week.
Yo, fellas, Cam, Mark, what's happening, man?
Ain't nothing, bro. Just grinding, like Cam J said, man. Another opportunity, man. Another morning. We blessed, we healthy, we all on the tube today, you know what I mean? So, hey, can't complain.
So am I wrong for picking y'all to go to the Super Bowl? Am I out of my mind?
No, you actually correct.
Tell them, Mark.
Yeah.
We got the boys.
How so? How am I correct? How so?
Because we got them dogs all over the field. Quarterback dog, running backs dogs, line dogs, receivers cold-blooded, D-line dogs, defense, the whole defense dogs. We got everything, man. Offense, defense, special teams, the coaching staff. We got the attitude, the culture, and we believe in each other. So, hey, we got Super Bowl aspirations too, so you ain't wrong.
So why do you think there's certain people out there that's sleeping on y'all and don't believe that y'all can get past the Tampa Bay Bucks or anybody else in the NFC?
Because that's what we call casual fans. They call them casual fans, guys that just look at the record from last year and don't realize we went through 58 different starters last year, 4 different quarterbacks, and really didn't have we had to figure out what a true number 1 receiver was last year between Marquez Callaway and Deontay Hardy. And now this year, one of our weaker rooms in the wide receiver room from last year becomes our strongest room. When you add in, Mike Thomas being healthy, you add in Chris Olave being drafted and the plays that he can make, you bring in Juice Jarvis Landry, and then you add in Marquez and Deontay. Now we've got depth on depth on depth, and not alone, we've got one of the better blocking receivers in Traquan Smith when he's active and getting ready. So, I mean, that alone says our offense is going to be potent. Then you bring in Zoom and Boom and Mark Ingram and AK, and it's not playing. We've got depth on depth right now. And then, of course, you talk about the D-line. Myself has been, being there for going into the 12th year. Marcus Davenport coming off a 9.5 sack season, 9 sack season last year off of 11 games. So he plays the whole season healthy. And now we've got two top 15 DNs in the league easily on one team. Then you talk about linebackers, Demario Davis, all-pro Demario Davis. Man, it's going to be strong, and there's nothing in us that says we're going to back down from anybody. And to be honest, only casual fans talk about the Bucks versus Saints because it's not really a rivalry. Only casual fans talk about the Saints versus the Atlanta Falcons. It's not a rivalry. We're racing against ourselves. Oh,
oh man, listen. Hey, Cam. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Man, Cam said, listen, he said, that's casual fans talking about that, man, talking about it's a ride between the Bucks. We handling the Bucks. And then he goes to even further and says that the Falcon is not a rivalry. We racing against ourselves. Cam, come on, baby. Raise the stakes. That's pretty
okay, Cam. Okay, Cam. I see you coming out here with that fire. I like that. Mark, let me ask you something, because every time we have somebody on the show, somebody's like, "Well, there are a lot of questions around Dennis Allen, and his last run as a head coach, and will this time be different?" And we talk about the continuity with Pete Carmichael, and obviously the DNA, the fabric of this team being around. What has the transition been like from Sean Payton to Dennis Allen?
Man, it's been extremely smooth, man. Obviously, when you talk, there's no replacing Sean Payton. Just his energy, just who he is, the personality, his offensive genius. There's no replacing that. But the good thing about it is we still have the same DNA and the same culture of the team. I mean, Pete Carmichael's been with Sean the entire time here in New Orleans, cooking up plays, cooking up this offensive system with him all these years. So we still have that DNA and that pedigree of that high offensive regime within our team still. And then Then you have DA. He's been with us the entire time still. Helping us create this DNA, helping us create this culture of our team. So just for him to step in, I think it was a great move from our team because we don't have a rebuild. We just have a team that, needed to keep our same DNA, our same culture, and DA knows that. He's a great head coach. He kind of led us to victories when Sean was, kind of out last year, especially when we went to Tampa on the road. DA was our head guy, led us in there. We went had a big dub. Defense goosed them, and offense did their thing to score points and get us a dub on the road on a Sunday night there in Tampa. So I just think it's huge to keep the same DNA, the same culture of the team because it's not a rebuild. We got a great team, and we have Super Bowl aspirations. We have big dreams, and we're working. We're putting it all together, and DA has been a seamless transition, a smooth transition for us.
Keyshawn J. Willimax, ESPN Radio.
Let me pause it right there, man. That's a mouthful by Mark right there. Dropping the science about the transition from Coach Payton to Coach Allen. And you mentioned culture. That was one of the first things that he talked about was the culture. The Saints have that culture where if you have a great culture, a great mindset, a culture of winning in the building, usually that goes well when you transition, when you got guys moving around. Usually the team overall has the maturity to be able to deal with change. And the Saints have dealt with some change, whether it was injuries. Like if it didn't teach you anything last year about how good the Saints are in terms of dealing with change. Cam mentioned the 54 different offensive line changes due to C-19 and injuries that culminated, the hurting of our quarterbacks, the poor play of the quarterbacks. And the Saints, credit to them, was still able to win 9 games. If the same circumstances were to happen to another team, they would have fell apart. And I always preface that by saying, remember what happened when the Dallas Cowboys lost Dak Prescott. They took a complete nosedive into the ground when they lost Dak Prescott that year when his leg got turned to the side. They fell absolutely apart. So the Saints do, and what credits there's the fact that you have a locker room and a culture around the team of winning and sturdiness, stability, consistency that helps you deal with change. So, the Saints, listen, I'm not saying they won't miss Coach Payton, but it makes it a lot easier when you have Pete Carmichael in the building that knows Coach Payton's system and has a familiarity with all these players that's in there.
Cam Jordan and Mark Ingram of the New Orleans Saints and hosts of the Trust Levels with Cam Jordan and Mark Ingram. Mark, let me ask you. Earlier, just a few minutes ago, you guys were addressing, the point that the Saints can be underrated and Key has you among the Super Bowl favorites. But what would you say to people? I think it is a legitimate question. The questions may be answered positively, but it is a legitimate question. Sean Payton's gone, right? Dennis Allen might be great, but whatever. We have to see him do it now with the team. And Drew Brees is gone. Jameis Winston looked good in those 4 games, but we still have to see him do it. What would you say to people who say, yeah, but we just don't know? We haven't seen these dudes do it over the course of the season with you guys.
I mean, hey, it's to be seen. Jameis was 6-2 in his games last year, and he's only getting better. He's only improving. So yeah, we have to go out there and do it. That's why they tee the ball up. That's why we're kicking the ball off here, and a little bit under 2 weeks. So we know we got to go out there and do it. You can say what you want. You can talk the good talk, but at the end of the day, they're gonna tee the ball up and they're gonna kick it off, and you're gonna have to put your money where your mouth is. So. That's why we've been working. We've been having a great training camp. That's why we out here this week. We're driving into work right now, heading to go in and get better and go in and improve. So when it comes to putting your money where your mouth is, that's what we do. That's what we're about. That's what the New Orleans Saints is about. That's our culture. That's our DNA. So, we speaking about it right now, but we plan on showing it soon.
Cam, you mentioned yourself and Davenport and some of the other players on the defensive side of the ball, but I'm going to ask you about the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. How has he looked, and how will he help the defense this year?
Man, he's a playmaker. He's already come up with some forced fumbles, with some key interceptions, against our ones, going against our guys in 2-minute drills, when things try and simulate something like, a halftime or end of the game situation. These are big plays that, we know he can make, and he has proven them to us already on the field in our short time being together. So we look forward to, not only Tyrann Mathieu being on the field. You talk about Paulson Adebo hitting his second year stride, led by Marshawn, Lattimore, and then of course we brought in Marcus May from the Jets. Man, it's not just about the Honey Badger. It's about Chauncey Gardner, Johnson Ducey. Our whole secondary can be formidable. So when you talk about one, don't forget to talk about the rest of them because, like Mark said, we got dogs on there.
No question. So look, Mark and Cam. So people been coming at me this morning because I put out my top 10 top players in the National Football League. Top 10 top players in the National Football League for this upcoming season. So it's going to be, many people disappointed that they not on the list as players, and there's going to be fans that's mad because I ain't got them on the list. But let me run down these 10 names for you and tell me if I'm missing anybody in the top 10. So I'm gonna start from 10 and go up. I got Lamar Jackson at 10, Josh Allen at 9, Myles Garrett at 8, Jalen Ramsey at 7, TJ Watt at 6, Big Trent Williams, the left tackle, at 5, Tom Brady at 4, Aaron Rodgers at 3, Patrick Mahomes at 2, and Aaron Donald at number 1. Is that far-fetched? Am I missing something?
It's not far-fetched to me. Now, obviously, you can shuffle the numbers around how you want, but the top 10 in general, I don't think it's too far-fetched. I think people are going to hate on the Lamar Jackson thing, and to me, it's astonishing to me, and I'm dumbfounded as to why the hatred for Lamar Jackson is what it is. The guy does things the right way. He's a great athlete, great quarterback, great pro, does things the right way. So I don't understand where the Lamar Jackson hate comes from. But to me, I think your top 10 is solid, and I think it's justified.
Yeah, I think you could argue either way. I would take number 5 and switch around 5 with probably number 8 and take out 8 to take that 8 spot to number 10. So really, I'd put the offensive lineman at 10 if you're making. But if there's going to be offensive lineman,
well, Cam has a vendetta against offensive linemen, so you know what I mean.
Of course.
There's a self-bias there, but I definitely think that within that top 10, if you're arguing around it, you can argue each one of those cases. I think it might be a little funny to me how a back-to-back MVP in Aaron Rodgers has as many rings as he does.
Cam Jordan and Mark Ingram of the New Orleans Saints. Okay, tell us about trust levels. What made you want to start the podcast?
Trust levels.
All right, so then they go up into the podcast. But I wanted to make sure you guys heard that great spiel right there by Cam Jordan. As Cam talked and dropped game about the Saints, how the fact that it's not a rivalry between Tampa Bay, hell, it's not a rivalry against Atlanta. We are basically racing against ourselves. I love that. That will be something I remember for this entire season. That might be the thought process that launches the Saints into this season. That thought process is there is no competition. We're only competing against ourselves. And I said that before. I said the Saints, a lot of people are not looking at the Saints roster, not understanding who they are and what they have. They, instead of looking at the Saints roster without obvious biases, they're looking with biases, and a lot of the biases, they're picking teams, which is which Tom Brady is. He's a lightning rod. He draws the attention, which is fine. And I'm not trying to disparage the Tampa Bay Buccaneer club. I'm not trying to do that at all, or Carolina, Atlanta, and NFC South. But a year removed from domination, the Saints dominated the NFC South 4 years in a row, and we know Carolina did it early on. We also realized we destroyed Carolina. We was the reason why they lost their coach. The Saints beat them people 3 times in a year. And then they just, after that happened, they tore their team up, and they haven't been the same since then. If you go back and think about it, so the Saints had a direct involvement in the disintegration of the Carolina Panther nation. The Saints disintegrated them. Like I said, there was that year when the Saints beat them twice in the regular season. In some kind of way, Carolina made it to the playoffs, and the Saints beat them in the playoffs. They came back and disintegrated that team, and they have not been the same since. They haven't. Now they're just trying to get back to where they are now. When they got Brady out there, try to take a little bit of Coach Payton's system out there with them. So, that's what that mindset, if you can't beat them, join them crap. Atlanta got it full bore. Atlanta got, our guy Fontenot down there running it. As my dog Big Low call him 005. Agent 504. 00504. Yeah, baby. He working for the Who Dat Nation, baby. But yeah, overall, you look at Tampa, the Saints has been wiping out Tampa Bay the last several years. That's why they have a hatred for the New Orleans organization. A really petty hatred, by the way. I mean, I don't understand what you expect of us. This is a football league and it's super competitive. If we beat you, that's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to give you any quarter. We're supposed to stump on you. And if you can't do something about that, that's your weak ass fault. So, I mean, now that they got Tom Brady, they were able to get a Super Bowl there. But the reality is, like I said, what happens in the NFC South, it goes through the black and gold, no doubt about it. They can talk all that stuff about Tom Brady, all this kind of stuff that they want. But Tom Brady's in trouble, man. I'm telling you. He in trouble, and we're going to get after him. And we're going to see how you look when we get after your guy. Oh, Tom Brady's not going to, he's going to get rid of the ball anyway. I heard the Stephen A. Smith say that the other day as he was making all type of excuses on why he's going to, just dumb shit. And I was like, this dude is out of his mind, man. He's going to get rid of the ball fast, so you have to worry about that. How, Jackie? You know, how is he going to get rid of the ball fast? What, are you going to be throwing the ball before they get into the route? You think we're going to let your guys get into where they need to be? Why you wasn't throwing the ball like that the last 4 contests in the regular season? Hell, he looked like crap in the playoff game before the Saints turned the ball over and gave him short fields on all those drives. I mean, man, I studied the film, man. This guy living in fantasy land, man. Or he going to get rid of the ball quick. Yeah, how? How? Who are you going to be throwing to? The referee? The umpire? You know, he can get rid of the ball. Who are you going to be throwing to? The ball boy off the sideline? Who are you going to be throwing to? Who going to be open that fast for that the Saints going to let? You think the Saints going to allow them guys to be running through the defense open like that? Are you kidding me? The Saints will be on that guy. He will hold the ball and he will throw the ball away. The majority of them going to be incompletions. So it's just amazing the kind of stuff that they say because they worship that man. And you're not supposed to be doing that. You're not supposed to be worshiping that guy like that, man. Come on. Grow up here. But anyway, shout out to the fam, man. We covered a lot of news notes, and that was a really good interview. Good to hear. And I thought you guys would enjoy that for those who probably didn't hear that Cam and Ingram interview from Keyshawn J. Will and Max's stream. And a lot of what's going on with the Who Dat talk that's positive is because of Keyshawn Johnson. He's really representing there and really bringing a lot of positive energy to not just Michael Thomas, but the Saints. He talks up Jameis Winston really good. And if it was somebody else there, not Keyshawn Johnson, it'll be a lot of hateration going on some of these shows as Key is in there arguing with these guys. Big Booger McFarland, who was a Tampa Bay guy himself, is riding with the Saints saying, man, listen, the Saints, y'all don't overlook the Saints. And others, CBS and all of them. Now, this slowly occurred. Now, a lot of these people wasn't doing that until we made them open their goddamn eyes. You're not going to be talking reckless about my team without no facts. Oh, Dennis Allen's the coach over there. We don't know what he's going to do. Well, I can say that about Bowles. Todd Bowles, we don't know what the hell he's going to do over there. You don't have the same coach either. Whatever you can say for me, I can say for you. But the ultimate equalizer is RG3, the idiot, says, is Tom Brady. How is he going to equalize something? He's 45 years old, and his interior offensive line is missing. And that is the wrong spot for you to be in for the 45-year-old quarterback when the Saints provide pressure up the center of the offensive line where there is no way for that old man to go except to the ground. So, I mean, we're going to see how we'll see if he can perform some type of superhero trick when he splits himself into multiple different beings and start blocking for himself while he's going. Let's see if he can do that power. The great Tom Brady. Man, listen, man, Brady's done some great things in his career, man, but you living off a pass rep, man. You living off a pass rep, man. We're not worrying about that. Straight up. All right, shout out to the fam, man. Let me get a few comments from the family in this thing. Much love, fam. Appreciate y'all being in here. All right, Luke, shout out to you, bro. The scout without clout says Saints model this year is all in. IMO Lewis traded 10 picks for Roby, Olave, and Penning, plus restructured $100 million to cap through 2025. We're all in on this year. Well said. Thank you, Luke, for that insight. What's up, Elliot? Shout out to you, brother. Big Q, what's your record for the Saints this year? Well, bro, I ain't going to tell you. I'm going to just give you in between. I'm not going to tell you exactly I'm gonna just give you in between because I think the Saints will win at least 11 games, but as much as 15 games. So my gauge is in between 11 and 15, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm waiting to see what kind of mindset this team has from week to week, because that'll decide on how far the Saints get this season. Can they stay focused on a game-to-game basis and not let stuff get behind them? Like the week 1 contest against Atlanta, they think they're trying to be sneaky, them schedule makers, by putting Atlanta in week 1 and then putting Tampa Bay in week 2. So we thinking we got Tom Brady and the Saints. That's fireworks that we'll overlook the Falcons for Tampa Bay, but we're going to prove you wrong. If the Saints can handling this stuff by game basis, we're going to have a lot of success because that's the biggest thing. Remember, several contests last year when we had most of our starters, we lost because of, and you could say we had a few injuries there, here and there, but the Saints had some good depth last year in key areas of the team. And you notice like with like the week 2 game after we just destroyed Green Bay in week 1 on a neutral field, we went to Carolina in week 2 and had a letdown. And Carolina played really well that game, don't get me wrong, but the Saints still had enough talent to beat the Carolina Panthers. They did. You know, they made Sam Darnold look like, you know, he was a top-notch quarterback, and that's not how it's supposed to look. You know, they didn't ruffle his feathers. They was allowing him to make it. It just didn't look right. The Saints just did not come to play. Next man up that just didn't apply in that game. The Saints they looked awful in that game, and they lost that game. And that was a game that they should have won. So what I'm saying is, despite whatever injuries occur, and you know that you are the most talented team on the field, you got to have just not only the next man up mentality, but the Saints have to key in and focus in and get the job done. You know, bottom line. And that's the thing that I'm looking forward to. And if the Saints can handle that focus better, you'll see a deep playoff run, a Super Bowl run, like Mark talked about. They got business. You heard Mark Ingram out of his mouth, and we were saying it here that they got a chip on their shoulder, and the Saints see themselves as a Super Bowl contender. Well, I was saying it, and I just played the interview where Mark Ingram just told you that. The Saints see themselves as a contender, a Super Bowl contender. And he said, no, there is no competition except for ourselves. Now, Cam could have been speaking tongue to cheek, but listen, bottom line is he laid the gauntlet down that there is no rivalry with the Bucs. There's no rivalry with the Falcons. It's just us against ourselves. And he means that can we stay focused and not do the foolish things that get us beat week to week. It's tough to say. That's a tough thing to do, but the Saints are a really good team. They're a really good team with stars all over the team. You add Tyrann Mathieu and Jarvis Landry to the team. You looking for Super Bowl. And like Luke said, that's well said, Luke, about what the Saints as a collective have done. And people was thinking this year could be just a year they set up just so they can get to the money next year so they can do what they want to do. Nah, Dennis Allen, when Sean Payton stepped out of there, Dennis Allen said, nah, we going for it this year. So credit to Dennis Allen and Mickey Loomis for doing that. All right, let's keep it going, fam. Shout out. All right, Prime, you got a link there, man. Let me see what you're hitting on here. He says, okay, it says former Buck first round tight end to sign with, he's signing with the Bengals. O.J. Howard. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, O.J. Howard. All right. Demetrius, what's up, fam? Says Chauncey Gardner not even on this evening's agenda. That's yesterday's news. Hashtag keep up. Yeah, Chauncey's gone, bro. I done already moved on to from Chauncey Gardner Johnson. He's a Philadelphia guy. He's already tweeting Eagles fly high, all that kind of stuff. And like I told you, bro, you know, we might have drafted this guy, but the Saints drafted his replacement. And how many times you heard me say that when they drafted Alontae Taylor, and they signed Alontae Taylor and everybody else got a contract, and I was like, we're going to see. You forcing them to the table like that, the Saints don't respond kind to that. And, and it didn't work out for him, but he didn't get the money from us, but he got the money from them. He's not going to be a slot man up there. They said they're going to turn him into a safety. And then he'll get his money right there as a safety. So Chauncey Gardner, salute to you, brother. You can take, I'm wishing you much fortune, just not against the black and gold. So, he moves on, we move on, and we pay attention to who we got now, which is Alontae Taylor, who was the guy drafted to occupy that position. We'll see whether or not he's ready. You heard Roby have some issue. We heard about Paulson Adebo having an ankle injury. So we got stuff to, if we really wanted to focus on cornerbacks or defensive backs, we got plenty of other things to focus besides Chauncey Gardner. How about Adebo dealing with an ankle injury right now? Think about that one. All right. Shout out to the fam, man. All right, Debo says, okay, y'all guys going at it up here, man. Nola Balls, what's up, fam? Says Gilligan Lack kicks a 61-yard punt that rolls to the 81 random drug test. Brady plays all to 45, never hear of getting tested. Yeah, bro, you know how this go, man. You know the league is not your friend, bro. We've been saying, yeah, you already know that. They are not your friend. All right, what's up, USMC, man? How you doing, fam? He said CJ was due a big new contract at the end of the year, and they think they're deep at the position. Indeed, when you draft somebody with a second round pick, and he don't have nowhere else to go except for the guy that contract is up this year, it don't take Albert Einstein and Oppenheimer to figure that one out. You get what I'm saying? All right, DJ said they talk like Brady ain't human. Yeah, I know, ain't that something? How dare they? He said our receivers last year were weak. I ain't gonna say they were weak, bro. God damn. They were, Sean Payton was going with a youth movement at the wide receiver position. Coach Payton was doing that. He loved that wide receiver room. I said that all year long. But he had big aspirations for Marquez Callaway. And look, you can look at what happened with the Saints wide receiver room last year and know that guys like Callaway and Deontay Harty, they got a lot of reps last year. And that helps them this year to get that. It really does. And then, of course, the only thing I don't like about is this Traquan Smith being there, and they talking about he's a blocker, because he's a good blocker. That's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. You're going to keep a guy because he's a good blocker. Nah, that's nonsense. That's a bad pick. But, eventually it'll iron itself out because, well, maybe then again, we'll see. He'll probably operate on special teams. So, I just think it was dumb. All right, they are ignoring their O-line issues, clearly weak in the middle. Indeed, bro. Indeed. You know it. And clearly ignoring it. I don't know what kind of commentating people these are. These people don't know, and I bet Stephen A. Smith don't know nothing about no football, man. That's a basketball dude, and he be screwing that up. Max Kellerman don't know nothing about no football or basketball. Kellerman's a boxing dude. I know this because I used to listen to boxing. Max on HBO doing boxing. He's a savant with that. That's his stuff. He need to just create a boxing show and stay the hell away from the rest of this stuff. But that guy don't know nothing about nothing. Anytime you start obsessing over a football player like that because of his lifestyle and the fact that he won some trophies, man, you need to get your shit together, man. You're trying to live vicariously through Tom Brady because Tom Brady got a nice looking wife and he got 7 Super Bowl trophies. And they done epitomized Tom Brady as the ultimate beacon of success in life. Tom Brady was successful. Yes, he was. Yeah, he won some championships. A couple of them they cheated for him. But yeah, he won some championships, and I give him his due. But, you look at this stuff from a year-to-year basis. The man's 45 years old, man. It's going to be tough. He did some fantastic stuff last year when he threw for over 5,000 yards and led the league in passing. What he did last year, that was phenomenal stuff. But this year around, the offensive line needs to be strong. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had a decent line the last couple of years with Tom Brady. You're going to need a line to keep him upright. And for them overlooking that, to overlook offensive line issues, or they just clearly don't understand what football is about. If your line is weak, you're not going to have that much success, if any, if you got a bad offensive line. And you thinking they're going to just hand it off all the time. We stack the box against you, man. It's just really crazy how these people think. And most of these people, they like I told you, they don't know what they're talking about, man. A lot of these people don't know no football like that. They arguing the dumbest points in the world and like, man, missing out on obvious facts. It's not that they don't know, it's they omit on purpose. Like they know Carmichael is there and they'll say these one-sided comparisons when you can actually look at the fair side of it and see, well, I don't think the Saints going to have a lot of success because Peyton is there. But who is the division? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hold on, stop the presses. Tampa Bay got a new coach too. You do realize that, right? Remember when your boy did that to, who was that? Bart Scott. Bart Scott did that to that lady who was talking about, well, Sean Payton is not there, and And then Bart said, hold on, isn't You said Bruce Arians is not there either. Oh, don't interrupt me. No, what he did was he shitted on your debate because you was trying to create this one side argument, and you can't do that if their team dealing with the same thing. So just cut that out with this bias, because it's obvious bias. Because like I've been saying for a while, Tom Brady he pays for positive press. Notice that none of them don't give him no negative press, but Jameis Winston getting hammered left and right while they uphold Tom Brady. A lot of that is paying. He paying for positive press. They do that. They pay for positive press. They got the money. That's what they do. They pay for the press. Yes, the press is for sale. If you don't know that, very few of them operate on morals. We know they got a lot of moral reporters out there, but a lot of them ain't. A lot of them will take that money and write that article as good as they can get it. That's that real deal, man. Hart says, Q, Washington tweeted he isn't going anywhere not too long ago, more than likely just waiting on the roster shuffles. He'll be on the practice squad. Okay, thank you for saying that, bro. Appreciate that. Shout out to you, Hart. All right. What's up, Lo? What in the world, Bo? Bro, listen, Lo, that's my dog, man. Much love to my brother, man. Big Lo. And Lo, we're going to look out, my dog Lo will be popping up here on the Sports Coma, man. We'll be previewing the Saints and Falcons in week 1. And my dog Lo will be in the building. So it'd be good to see my brother back on the show again. We talking Saints. And let me tell you something, man. When you got and I told Lo this on the phone when I was talking to him. It's like, man, listen, when you got a black and gold man and, diehard, and then you got a red and black man diehard over there, and they got respect for each other and, stuff like that, man, there's hope for everybody in the world. There's hope for everybody in the world. So you Christians and the Muslim that's fighting for thousands of years, man, get your shit together. Say, what? Falcons and Saints people can get along. What? Man, we got to do better. Yes, you do. You better get better. You better do better. Stop that. All right. Shout out to the fam, man. All right. Okay. Let's shout out. What's up, Marco? Shout out to you, my brother. Good to see you in the chat, man. Much love. All right. 504 Coach said, I'm excited about Alontae Taylor, bro. That dude got a lot of juice. He's a monster. Yeah, we won't see what he can do, bro. What's up, Brother Rich? Brother Rich Rules, appreciate that, man. With the super chat there, my friend. Thank you. Let me see if I can read your comment there, my friend. Hold on, just let me say it popped up there. Hold on, brother. Give me just a second. There it is. Q, we are in the same position as last year. Running back Tony Jones Jr. would be like the WB. Damn. You gonna be like the WD. That's Warner Brothers Frog. Look okay in preseason, looking at us from the sideline. Goddamn. God, the WB frog? Damn. Man, I ain't see that frog in a long time, brother. All right, shout out to you, Brother Rich. Good Lord. All right, Big Sean, what's up, bro? Says it's okay, y'all talking. He says we played them Lutz, what he said, Huts under center twice and got beat twice. Plus they had arguably the best draft and got key players from us. All right, y'all guys having a little great think tank debate. Eric says, we bring in lunch. Yeah, they talking to Lo. They talking to Lo in there. All right. Shout out to you, Lo. Much love, bro. All right. Luke says Tony Jones Jr. only 24 years old, so give him some time to prove. He got hurt last year. I like Tony Jones. He got some wiggle. He got some rhythm to his game too, man. I like him, but I don't think that's it. I think the Saints going to add another running back. Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, there you go. There you go. He says, could I get a Superman check? There you go. Lord, I ain't doing it in a while, bro. I got to bust my dog load. Dun, 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 dun. That's a Superman check. That's a Superman check. You know what I'm saying? You start over here, Lo, and some kind of way you work on to this side. That's what I got right there. Dun, 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 dun. That's a Superman chat. There you go, Lo. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, bro. Oh, much love, bro. Much love, bro. That's my dog. All right, Asher says, did you make it past high school? Come on, man. What y'all doing here, man? Stop talking reckless to each other in here. What y'all doing, Ashton? You know, what are y'all talking about? What's going on here, man? Swag said, Q, who's available at the running back position? Hold on, bro. That's a good question, bro. Give me just a second. Let me see if I can pull something up there. Because I really do think, bro, at this point, that the Saints are looking at running backs like another running back that might be out there, bro. This could be something that's happening right now if you think about it. All right, so let me see. All right. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull that up, fam. All right. Yeah, it's amazing, man. But you put Dwayne Washington in the street. The Saints could be looking at something, man. They could be looking at something. Hold on, give me just a second, fam. Let me see if I can pull up this running back free agency list right now and see what I can find. All right, give me just a second. I'm gonna pull it up. All right, yeah. They was talking about Sony Michelle. Yeah, he ended up going back to the Chargers. He went to the Chargers today. I know he got off the books. I won't say he got picked up by the Chargers. So they might be looking. There you go, Debo. Debo, you hitting on something. Marlon Mack. Remember, I kept pushing this Marlon Mack thing, and the Texans signed him. The Texans cut Marlon Mack. And Marlon Mack, that would be my pick. Who that? Dennis, Mickey? Dennis and Mickey, you need to go get Marlon Mack and add him to this team, man. Marlon Mack is the guy, and I think he's still available out there, matter of fact. I don't think nobody picked up Marlon Mack, man. Marlon Mack is the guy. I seen that on the transaction while I say, hold on here. Marlon Mack, they released him. Yep, Texans releasing Marlon Mack cleared way for rookie Damian Pierce. Now, I get that. And we remember we scouted Pierce, and I was telling people, Pierce out of Florida, he's going to be a hell of a running back. And the Texans said, man, listen. Okay, that ain't going to happen. Okay, I just seen it. Yeah. Marlon Mack's going to, the Texans going to put him on their practice squad. Hell, that was reported on 9 hours ago. Marlon Mack is on the practice squad. But I guess the Saints, if they wanted him, I guess they can pull him off the practice squad onto the active roster if they wanted Marlon Mack. But anyway, let me give the family members, give me a second. Let me put this on here, fam. This is a list of the guys right here. This is the 2022 free agents at the running back position. You see Cohen there. Kenyon Drake is up there. They got Carson, David Johnson. Remember the Saints talked to him and then they went away from him. Lindsey's available. They got Mack on here, but I just seen a report from Adam Schefter saying that they put him on their practice squad, but they can still be gotten if you wanted them. Malcolm Brown, which was the guy the Saints signed, and he's out there, so I don't know if they go to him. Lynn Bowden, which is a little do-it-all, everything type back. Tevin Coleman is available. How about that? Tevin Coleman's available. All right. They got well, that's Michael Perrine. Latavius Murray, I don't think they go with him. Duke Johnson, they got Duke Johnson out there. Wayne Gallman, Kalen Ballage. So, I mean, there's quite a few. Larry Roundtree III, the guy that ran against us in the Chargers game, he's there. They got quite a few backs, man. Some you know and some you don't know. Devontae Zigbo's out there. Let me see. Who else? Quite a few people, family, that's available out there. You're scrolling down this list of people. I see Kenny Brooks, the running back from Oklahoma, who was a draft pick. He's available. Abram Smith is out there. So do the Saints go the easy man route and go back to Abram Smith and add him to the team? Is that what they're looking at? Justin Jackson is another dude. So, yeah, they got a couple of people out there depending on who you like. But they got Marlon Mack, but I seen he was picked up on the practice squad. But I'm pretty sure, depending on how the rules are, you could pilfer him off the practice squad if you add them to an active roster. I just don't know if you can do that now or wait, after the first week. That's something that I'm unclear on. Now, like Tevin Coleman's a good pickup. Devontae Freeman's still out there. So, I mean, they got quite a few people out there if the Saints looking at it. If Dwayne Washington, they put him in the street, that could be what it is, family. They might be looking at kind of bringing some guys in here after the fact. So there you go. Yep, 504 said Marlon. Yeah, he got cut, bro, because Pierce. Pierce has been tearing shit up, man. They really excited about Pierce. Tragic said the reason the Saints are waiting for veterans is to sign them at the vet minimum. There you go, Tragic. Absolutely, bro. Versus claiming on waivers, you have to absorb their full salaries. There you go. Thank you, Tragic. Ever the drop in science, man. The scientists up in this joint. My dog, Tragic. All right. Oh, he says, Carlos says Zigbo's on PS2. Okay. All right. Yeah, they got some of them listed here. This is Sport Track's list here. All right. Yeah, he says Tyler Batty. Yeah, I heard of him from Mizzou. Yeah. I don't know. What's up, Laura? Shout out to you, Queen. All right. AJ says Drake to the Ravens. Okay. All right. Q, the 49ers had a running back. Trey. Did he get cut? I thought I seen a Trey on this list, if I'm not mistaken. Might have. I don't know. I don't know if he's on this list. Or Trey Edmonds? That's who you talking about, Trey Edmonds? No, that wasn't Trey Edmonds. That's the one I see on this list. I don't know if they still got him on theirs. But they got a couple of guys on here. I don't know what the Saints gonna do. What's up, Seminole? Shout out to you, fam. All right, Eugene says Mickey's no doubt looking at the running backs and veteran defensive tackles right now over dinner. If only we knew that he, what he was having. Tell us who he's signing. Yeah, he was having fish, so he drafted Troutman. Yeah. All right. Donald says Trevor's mom said he had surgery at 1 p.m. Okay. All right. Shout out to you, Donald. Shout out to you, bro. Thanks for sharing that information. Elliot said, what about the Saints linebacker position? It's a drop-off after Demario Davis. Well, they expecting Pete Werner to be available. And yes, Caden Ellis outside of Pete Werner is Caden Ellis and Dowell and then Bowen, depending on where he falls. So some of it's curious maneuvers there, but I'm not so worried about that insofar as we know we got Eric Wilson on the practice squad. So if something was to happen, we can just make that move and bring Eric Wilson there. We know he works. So being that we still have Wilson and guys like Kirk Merritt on the practice squad, kind of makes me feel a lot better about our depth situation. As long as we have an attachment to these guys where we can kind of move them over if we needed to do that, if injuries were to occur, I think we'll be all right as far as that concerned. So, yeah. All right. What's up, Marvin? Shout out to you, brother Clarence, brother Torrey. Shout out to you, fam. Appreciate y'all. What's up? Much love, fam. All right. Cliff says, why no O-line search? You want to see the O-line, bro? I don't think the Saints looking at offensive lineman, bro. They claimed that guy off of waivers. And more than likely, they got 4 linemen right now on the active roster, backup linemen anyway. So I don't think the Saints will be looking at bringing on any offensive linemen at this point, man. I think they're going to go at least into the first week of what they have. Something might shake and pop later, but right now it looks like that's where they're focused at. Hart says, Q, with the almost $30 million cap space we have, do you feel like, do you feel like we'll make a splash signing or 2 within the first few weeks of the season? I have a gut feeling. You think so? You think so? Well, I'm going to tell you something, Hart. Man, let me tell you. A splash signing, I guess, I don't know what would be a signing that would create a splash signing for the Saints, unless it was, if you was thinking like an Ndamukong Suh or Odell Beckham Jr., which we don't have any room for Odell Beckham right now, but he's not supposed to be totally healthy until somewhere in the middle of the season anyway. So if that's the case, then we never know where we're going to be at in terms of our wide receiver injury situation. So anything's possible. The Suh thing, Suh wants $9 million. I don't think the Saints roll with Ndamukong Suh. I think that, that might have been past us. Now they can make a lot more economical moves. Like they can bring Malcolm Brown, the big defensive tackle that was released by the Jags. We traded him over there. They released him 3 weeks ago. So it would be cool to bring him back at a premium. We can have him because we have some injuries in the interior of our defensive line. Malcolm Brown knows the system. He fits right on in there. He won't start for you, but he'll provide valuable depth to help you out there. You know what I'm saying? That'll definitely be the case. And maybe, see what kind of condition he's in. But having him there would be a big plus. And of course, you know, people looking at I don't know about the I think the Saints are straight on the tight ends, but yeah, that's the only kind of splash when you say splash signings. That's the two that come to mind. Outside of it, I think everything else is economical. They most certainly looking at a running back. Now you put Dwayne Washington in the street. Abram Smith's not your guy. You didn't even bring Abram Smith to the practice squad. Now, once again, I don't know. They're saying Abram Smith's still out there. I don't know if he cleared waivers, but they didn't even bring Abram Smith there. Although, let me see. You count the. This is straight from the Saints. Let me see. That's straight from the Saints website. That I think I counted. It ain't 16 people. It's 15 people on a practice squad as it stands. So there might be a slot left for somebody. Yeah, here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is Merritt, 12, 13, 14, 15 people on a 16-man practice squad. So you still got a slot open. Maybe, in the coming days they bring him back to it. I mean, or if what the family member was saying about Dwayne Washington is accurate, then he might end up on that 16th final slot there, which means Abram Smith might not be the guy they're looking at, and they might go in a different direction. So the Saints most certainly could be looking at another running back here. We'll see. All right, what's up, Gundam? Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate y'all for being here. Shout out to you, Earl. Shout out to you. Yeah, Hanson's on the practice squad. So yeah, we got some good linebackers, man, that we picked up. Nephi Sewell's on the practice squad. Nephi, Eric Wilson, and Hanson is the linebackers there. So if we have any struggles with anything happen there, we got some people that we can move over there and kind of help out, so it makes me feel a lot better. No, they didn't, Seth. They didn't put Penning on the IR yet. Not yet. I've been looking at that. Not yet. Country Rail says Abram cleared waivers. Yeah, the Saints just didn't pick him up. So we'll see. Tim Trey Jackson, thank you for hitting that subscribe button. Shout out to Tim Trey Jackson. Much love, family. Welcome to the Sports Coma family. Welcome to the Great Saint Think Tank. Thank you for smashing on the like button, baby. Much love. All right, Damien, shout out. What's up, D? He says, just made it to the chat, but bringing back Eric Wilson, you think could have been some kind of strategy? Because I have a feeling that guy will be on the 53 week 1, the way he played and looked. What you think? Well, bro, we'll see. But they took a hell of a risk with him playing that. Somebody could have claimed him and we could have lost him, but they felt like Dennis Allen said they felt like some of these guys were clear waivers and we can add them to the practice squad. I hope he felt, I don't understand why he didn't feel that way about Traquan Smith or Zach Bourne. Let's cut them and see if they can clear waivers. More than likely, they probably will. What's up, brother Pat Rich? Much love to you, bro. Shout out. All right, Jamie says, what do you think about Emmanuel Sanders? I think Emmanuel Sanders was contemplating retirement. I remember watching the report of him. He was on Good Morning Football or whatever, and he was talking about possibly retiring. I think he was looking for the right, if he wasn't going to retire, it had to be the right situation for him. But I don't know if they need Emmanuel Sanders right now. The way the Saints got Olave, they got Jarvis Landry. And I think the Saints are straight in terms of wide receivers right now. Now, if injuries start to happen, then you might have to kind of look back at that thing. But I think right now we good. We good on Emmanuel Sanders. Shout out to you. All right. Irvin says we need a linebacker. Debo says Winston is finna throw a lot. He says finna throw a lot of running game. Besides, AK isn't going to be moving the chains like that. Ingram is washed. I don't know, bro. AK, he said he ain't gonna be. AK's not moving the chains, Debo. How do you figure that, bro? That's all AK do is move the chains. It's all he do is move the chains. They can't stop him from moving the chains. Eugene says Trey Sermon might have been a decent option if he had more vision and didn't entirely rely on huge holes to run through. All that natural talent, but you got to have instincts. All right, shout out. Okay, that's the guy from the 49ers. Donald says, what could it mean that they didn't put Penning on the IR? They're just waiting to see. Like one of the family members astutely made a great reference, a great point on, is the fact that they could see how fast he heals. But even if you was to put him on the IR, the short-term IR, which it does come with a, what is the short-term IR? I forgot. What is it about? Remind me, family, the short-term IR, when they put you on there, you got what, 4? Is it, what is it? Is it, what is it? Remind me with the short-term IR. I just went blank. All right. Robert says Traquan is a dumpster fire. You ain't never lying. All right. Okay, it's Arvin. Okay. All right. Shout out to you, Arvin. All right. All right. K Molin there. What's up, baby? Says Bowen and Smith wouldn't have. Yeah, they would have. Yeah, they definitely. I say they would have cleared. They would have cleared waivers big time. But then again, the Green Bay Packers might have picked up Zach Bowen. That's the only place he probably can go to have success. He's from up there, and they actually run a system that probably would work in his favor. Okay, Tragic said, there you go, 10 weeks. There you go, 10 weeks. So, that's just what, shot a couple of weeks past, almost 3 months, So they're trying to see where he'll be. But I'm thinking that's probably a call that they'll make probably between now and right before the action of week 1. We'll know exactly what they're gonna do with him. So I wouldn't take no games, man. I would kind of just IR the kid, man, and let him get right, man. He got a big future ahead of him. King Gucci says we good. Q gotta relax. AK is a threat, which opens the pass game for Mike T and Olave, Landry, and them. Thank you, bro. Shout out to you. Yeah, I think he does. He's a receiving threat, but he also have people been paying attention to what's up, Westside Baptist Church. How you doing, my brother? Thank y'all for being here. Have people been paying attention to AK-41 this preseason and in the camp? I mean, the best. He's one of the best. He's looked phenomenal, man. Going down there and seeing him in camp and seeing him in the preseason games and his action, how he been training this year. The only really negative thing about AK-41 situation was the Las Vegas thing. But everything else during this offseason has been completely positive. He's looked absolutely awesome. And I think he's primed for a big year this year, man, for Kamara, man. So I mean, I wouldn't bet against him, that's for sure. All right. Shout out. All right. Okay, we got a few more. Take a few more, and then I'm gonna bounce off, fam. It's getting close to my little cutoff time there. All right. Eugene says that prior commentator must have been reading too many clickbait articles on Kamara's lower yards per carry last year. Never mind that he was playing in literally the worst possible offensive environment last year. All right. 504 says losing Roach kind of hurt. We got to get a defensive tackle now. Sue's still on the streets. Give him a 6 for 1. No, he don't want 6, bro. He ain't taking nothing less than 9. That's what he told the Raiders. He's not taking nothing short of $9 million to play for your team. So I don't think the Saints gonna give Sue $9 million. I think Malcolm Brown's a better option, to be honest with you. A cheaper option. He knows your club. Donald says 4 weeks could mean they could think sooner. I wouldn't play with it, bro. I would kind of let the guy heal up, and you put him on IR, and deal with it like that. I know the Tampa Bay Buccaneers dealing with their center and saying that he's possibly he can make a comeback toward the end of the season. We'll see. All right, Luke says Pete Warner was a top recruit, started 3 years, all 3 linebacker positions at Ohio State, was a top 60 pick at linebacker. What you talking about, AB? Warner is a top pedigree thumper in NFL. Yeah, Warner is tremendous, man. He's an awesome special player. He just needs to stay healthy, man. He needs to get healthy and stay healthy. So hopefully DeMario can show him some game on how he had all that longevity. Kevin, shout out to you. Said Big Q. Who that? I believe kickoff return is next position. Saints not going to pay big money either. What do you think? Are you talking about for Deontay Hardy, who's on that $9 million tag? We'll see, bro. Because Hardy, we'll see, bro. We'll see, because they most certainly was giving other guys opportunities at the kick return position. And we do know that Deontay Hardy he signed his chicken tender. He playing on that $9 million chicken tender, and that he was supposed to, he wanted to get a negotiating going on too. So, but it depends, there, because the Saints do have Rashid Shaheed in the fold. Kirk Merritt can operate as a guy. And of course, we don't know, we know Deontay Harris realized a lot of his potential. He was a Pro Bowl at that stuff several years ago. But, man, we'll see, bro. We'll see, man. It could be something. They do have some interesting options behind them, man. Even though they're not proven. We've seen what these guys did in college, but yet we'll see. All right, shout out to you, bro. Thank you. All right, Damon says, Q, I'm tripping or is our kicking unit probably by far best on the squad? Me personally, it might not sound sexy, but that's how great they are. Yeah, well, that's that kicking unit, bro. That's a top 3, top 5 kicking unit in business, man. It is. Blake Gilligan is really an exceptional punter. He's getting better with his accuracy. Will Lutz speaks for himself, and Zach Woods is a really good long snapper. Deontay, if the Saints punt and return, if the Saints punt and kick blockers, that if they can get it together and open up creases and crevices for Deontay Hardy to return kicks, man, this could be a special. The special teams could really be extra special if we can get a couple of some special teams touchdowns next year. 2 or 3 of them would be really good. And also that'll serve with Deontay Hardy helping the Saints to flip that field position, helping set up Jameis in the offense with sharp fields will be pivotal. So I think that's the last dynamic of the Saints special teams is the punt situation, the punt and kick blocking situations. Those guys have to block better to open up lanes for Harris. And for Hardy. I've been saying that for some time now, because last year you'll see guys run through there and 3 guys would tackle the goddamn guy. And it won't be he's flowing away from his blockers. He'd be going with the blockers and still get tackled by 2 and 3 men. How do you explain that if not poor blockings? Guys got to do a better job of blocking to help Deontay Hardy flip the field and get some special teams touchdowns to kind of make the game easier for the whole team. So if we can add that dynamic in there, that'll go a long way, bro. Because I think that's the one thing we missing as a team. We hadn't had a special teams touchdowns in some time since Deontay did it 2 years ago. And prior to him getting the special teams touchdowns, I think it was Elvin Kamara did it when Elvin got a kick return touchdown. Prior to that, it was the Beer Man, going way back to Michael Lewis. So, we don't take them to the house all the time on the special teams, man. But, man, I would like to change that, man. And that all ties into we got to block. We got to do a better job of blocking on our punt kickoffs, the punt returns and kick returns. We got to do a better job of blocking. We got to. All right. Shout out, bro. All right. What's up, Tasha? Shout out to you, baby. Good to see you there. Much love to you and Big Sean. All right. Shout out. All right. What's up, Adrian, baby? All right. Shout out to you. Ava says, wouldn't Barnes' skill set fit the Steelers? Didn't Watt get hurt? Yeah, he would. Yeah, bro. Any system that utilizes that 3-4 system, he would fit well into that, man. The Saints took a 3-4 linebacker. And when they took him, people was like, what are you going to do with him? Well, we see him as a pass rush guy. He had 11 sacks. And the Saints couldn't utilize him. It's the same thing that happened years ago with when we took, what's his name? Can't always forgets this guy's name. He's a Hawaiian player from Washington, man. Haloi Kakaha. Well, we took Haloi Kakaha in the second round. The man had 2 bad knees already, 2 restructured. He had surgery on both knees in college, and the Saints tried to have that man dropping into coverage. It was just stupid. We just didn't utilize him correctly. And that they never had a role for Zach Bond. Zach Bond has some talent. He does. But the Saints don't have a role for Zach Bond. What are you going to do with him? You're keeping him on the roster, but you don't use him in any type of capacity except for special teams. So I don't know, bro. I don't know. I wouldn't trust him. Eric Wilson totally outperformed him, and I just think it's it's a bad pick to have him here and you don't have no role for him. Oh, we got a role. He's gonna be a special time linebacker. He's a 3rd round draft pick, man. He still ain't been able to crack the lineup, man. He got undrafted or free agent linebackers. He's been up for 4 years in the same system. This system hadn't changed greatly. If it had, maybe incrementally, but not very much. You got the same defensive coordinator here. Dennis Allen took over the team, and Zach Bond been in the same defensive system for all those years. We should see a greater Zach Bond right now, but the Saints don't have an idea how to use the man. The Green Bay Packers would, because that's where he comes from up there in Wisconsin. I'm pretty sure they'll know how to utilize him, and you're right, the Steelers could utilize him too. So I don't know, man. What's up, William? William says, Big Q, could it be that's why they're keeping Smith, Barnes, Dowell, and Sorensen to block on special teams? Yeah, you're right, bro. That could be it, man. That could be it. Yeah. Sorensen, man. Remember we talked about him. If anything, he's a special teams guy, which if you look at it, who's replacing Dwayne Washington. In that is it Sorensen? That's his new name, Sorensen. And until he shows that he can perform better. All right, what's up, Ramsey? Aloha to you, my friend. Appreciate you. All right. Doug says Serena won. All right, that shout out to Serena. Big Sean says, okay, y'all just going at it, man. Y'all just going at it. All right. Okay, Bowen. I got you, bro. I got you. Tragic says they selected Pat Queen. Man, listen, you don't say that too loud. Don't say that too loud because GM Kev might hear you, man. That always sets off GM Kev. Every time somebody mentioned the Saints should have drafted Pat Queen, that sets on. Don't say that too loud because that might piss off GM Kev. I know he up in there somewhere listening. Don't say it too loud because that's Kevin, one of his top annoyances that the Saints didn't go with Pat Queen that year. And look what Pat Queen doing with the Ravens. So, hey, man, let me tell you something. Yeah, that go Kevin right there. 4 more hours. I hear you, Kev. All right, Traquan Smith says, I'm the best. Damn, Traquan. All right, let me ask Traquan. We got him in the chat right now. Traquan Smith, y'all, is in the chat right now. Let's ask Traquan. Traquan said, how would any of this affect my legacy, Big Q? Legacy? What legacy would that be, Traquan? What legacy do you speak of, my friend? What legacy? I'm trying to figure out. And let me ask, let me ask you this. Do you feel like, Traquan, do you feel like you deserve to make the 53-man roster? In your humble estimation, do you feel like you outplayed Kurt Merritt to get the 53-man roster spot? Please let us know in the chat how you feel about that. All right. Yeah, Reggie took one back too. Okay, thank you, Kev. Shout out. All right. Answer that for me, Traquan. Let me know how you feel about that, brother. All right. Yeah. Okay, he the best. He's the best. Okay, he said he's the best receiver on the team. He says yes. Okay. I'm the best in the league. Okay. Look at Lori. Lori says they need to cut you. Lori, you ain't pulling no punches, baby. Laura said they need to cut you. There you go. Man, Laura says you're trash. Laura is letting Traquan Smith have it in the chat. Damn, Laura. Laura is cutting, she is cutting loose on him. All right, Ryan. What's up, Ryan? Says, did you see Traquan rant? Yeah, Matt Moscona. Yeah, Matt's a good dude, man. I like Matt Moscona, man. I was supposed to get him. I remember communicating with Matt Moscona, man. I was supposed to get him on the Coma. Then I started having a lot of the family issues and stuff started popping up here, but I'm going to have to follow through. Because I like how Matt thinks, man. He's a smart dude, man. He's passionate. And I love his spiel about Traquan Smith. I'm waiting for one for Zach Bowen. Matt, I need to hear what you think about Zach Bowen. You felt, I didn't even see Matt's rant. I seen it today, but when we did the stream yesterday, I was like, man, this don't make no sense. If you're a guy that knows how football works, and there's justifications for everything. They were like, well, Traquan Smith, we like his blocking. And family saying, well, it could be Smith is the guy they're keeping on special teams. Well, because they like his block. And I'm like, man, come on, man, with that blocking, bro. You got to do more than block. That's why Dwayne Washington ain't on the team no more. Or the rest of these guys, you got to do more than just block. You got to be able to catch passes like Traquan Smith dropping touchdowns in preseason. That don't bowl well for you. Now I can understand the catch when he was diving awkwardly for and his elbow hit the ground, the ball popped up. I understand that was a difficult pass to catch, but when you're throwing a touchdown like he's throwing, you're a 4-year vet, 5 years? Damn, Traquan. You've been in the game. You got to catch those passes, man. And you're they put a third round grade on you. People going to start bringing out the B word in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? AJ says, as much as I think of Traquan's blocking, see, it's always Traquan's blocking. But, bro, you got to do more than just block to make a team. That's why guys like, I keep saying, like Chris Banjo and Justin Hardy, these were tremendous special teams guys. Even Dwayne Washington was an ace, but look where they at now. On the street. You got to do more than block. I hear you, Laura, baby. Laura said, I speak my mind. I got you, baby. Yeah, they said they think Traquan's like an offensive lineman or something. Yeah, because that's the last excuse that people can come up with, or not an excuse, but the only explanation. I'm gonna just say that because most of these people are not making excuses for Traquan, but that's the last rational explanation that you can come up with, is that they're keeping him for his blocking. That's the last thing, because you can't say anything else that he does that really helps elevate the team. Is that he's got to be his blocking cue. And I'm like, man, all right. All right. I know Joyce. We just having a little fun. Joyce says, that's not him. That's somebody pretending to be him. I got you, Joyce. Yeah, we just having a little fun with him. We just having a little fun. All right. All right. Yeah, y'all are good, man. Y'all are good. All right. What's up, Saint Zone? He says, how you the best but can't stay on the field? Traquan, how you the best? He says, watch me work. Traquan, bro, let me tell you something, bro. You might not be doing too much on the Saints team right now, but you're doing a lot in the chat, and that's keeping us entertained. So shout out to you, my brother. Marty says, hey, Traquan, you mean work your way off the field? Oh, man, y'all are y'all are having some fun. We having some fun. If anything, he providing some levity in the chat. That's for sure, for certain. All right, Debo said, I'm not going in on Traquan because Loomis signed him back when the Falcons rejected him. Q, I got you, bro. I hear you, bro. I got you. And Traquan, yeah, they got a reason for him, man. Although Dennis Allen didn't tell us what it was. All right, so it's what it is. All right. AJ says, make him gain 30 pounds and transition to tight end. No way, man. You'll be falling out there, bro. You couldn't handle it. All right. What's up, JT? Shout out to you, fam. He says, when we draft, I always like between the 4, 5, and 6 because these guys appreciate where they're drafted. They make a name for themselves, bro. They the chip on the shoulder players, They make a name for themselves. Eric says, Traquan, shouldn't you be looking for a job in the classified? No, he's on the team, bro. Traquan has a job. Thanks to Dennis Allen, man, and the staff. So, yeah, Traquan can smile right now. But listen, it ain't over with. You got to hold that spot, fam. You got to hold that spot. Tragic going back on him. Tragedy going back on him. What's up, Pat Rich? So we're not going to talk about last year's first round tackle from Alabama last year. All right. Yeah, I hear you, bro. I hear you. The tackle from Alabama last year. And Saint Zone says Traquan needs to be a Walmart employee. No, he got a job, bro. The man got, I can't say it, bro. He got a job. What's up, Lloyd? Shout out to you, brother. Jermaine says, Q, you think Pete will make the entire season? Oh, man, that's a tough one, man. But I would hope so, bro. We're going to need him, but more than likely, probably not. So I'm not hoping that he gets hurt, but, man, I'm hoping. Let's just say I'm hoping that he's able to remain on the field. Because having our starters together, man, it will be imperative, man, because I'm not encouraged by our backups in the preseason. They didn't look too good, but maybe they play better next to other starters. But I'm really hoping that we don't have that many injuries. Like what happened with Ryan Ramczyk. Hopefully Ramczyk can be pre-check Ramczyk before he got the big check. You see what I'm saying? Because when he got the big check, he got hurt. Hopefully we can have Ram the whole year. Hurst plays well. Andrew stays up. Cesar continues to develop. And Eric McCoy is there. So hopefully we can keep all of these guys together, man. And but it'll be kind of tough, Andrews, to stay healthy, but hopefully he does, bro. I hope the man does, man. Hopefully he does. That would be cool. What's up, Scoob? Shout out to you. What it do, pimpin'? What's happening to my brother Scoob? Shout out. All right. Marcus says, well, guys, at least Book is going and signed somewhere else. Thank God. There you go. Watch out for that, bro, because the Book can come back and boomerang back to you. Could you imagine Book coming back and let's say something happened and Book's out there playing quarterback and he throws for 300 yards? Could you imagine that? Weirder things happen, man. James, what's up, fam? Says, Q, how about every analysis talking about the Saints say the same thing? Why keep Bourne and Traquan? Let Wilson walk and put Kirk on the practice squad. I hope Chauncey don't do Jameis like he did Tom. No, I don't think so, bro. I don't think that happens, bro. We just gotta keep an eye out on the whole thing, bro. I think we all right, bro. We're gonna be fine. Pat says last year's first round pick from Alabama, who was given to the Raiders. We're not going to talk about him being cut and possibly playing for us. All right, you talk the last year's first round pick from Alabama. Hold on, Pat. Who are you talking about, bro? What's the guy's name? Throw his name up, Pat. You got a name, bro? All right. Let's see what else we got there. JT says, Q, at least we won't draft no more centers and defensive end. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Hopefully not, man. I think we'd be all right, bro. We'd be all right. All right. Country Rail says Traquan had his workout for the Falcons. Let's hope he doesn't get it mistaken. Yeah, I remember that. He only had one person looked at him, and it was the Falcons. I remember that, and then the Saints brought him back there. Okay, Seth says Alex Leatherwood. Okay, thank you, bro. Leatherwood. Okay, yeah, okay. I got you now. I got you, bro. Yeah, but Leatherwood got picked up by somebody, bro. Somebody claimed Leatherwood. He ain't available, Pat. Alex Leatherwood got picked up by somebody, man. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I seen that passing, and the Leatherwood got signed by somebody. Yeah, the Bears. The Bears claimed him. That's 2 days ago. Yeah, the Bears claimed Alex Leatherwood. When he got waived, the Bears claimed him. So the Bears got that boy. Yeah, the Bears got him, bro. So yeah, that's a done data on that, Pat. Yeah, the Bears claimed him, bro. All right, because I remember seeing his name. Somebody, I was like, Leatherwood got claimed by somebody. I remember a reporter wrote a pretty decent article. We covered it on the show about Leatherwood being released, and he did get released, but the Bears claimed him. So I guess that's out the window. All right. Yeah, Chicago grabbed him. That's right. All right. So yeah, not pinning it. Well, we've yet to determine the time frame, but if it's a grade 3 sprain, a grade 3 injury that occurred, like when they list them in series of grades when you talk about the turf toe issue, and it was saying that he had torn ligament in the foot in the toe, and it was called a grade 3. Usually that after surgery takes anywhere, according to the medical reports, for the standard, not for him, but for people standard, is anywhere between 2 to 6 months for the recovery time. So maybe the doctors could see something after the surgery and say, well, he'll be laying up here for 2 months or 3 months. Who knows, bro? Who knows? So we still waiting for word on Penn. And I think one of the family members made a great point on that. That could be the case too right now. All right. Yeah, Eugene says Penn could be back by mid to late November. Marcus says 6 months, I heard. So pretty much, yeah, it's the time frame. It's not official because they hadn't gave an official time frame. But when you go based upon that type of injury that happened to people, the time frame for a grade 3 is 2 to 6 months. So it'll probably be somewhere in that time reference between that time, between the guys. So we'll see. We'll see how it all. That's one of the many questions we'll see going forward, bro, on how they do that. Debo says, so what you got from the weakest position before preseason? What do you think of us at tight end? Any improvement? Adam Trautman is who the Saints are hanging their hat on. Taysom Hill was banged up during the off-season rehab, and that list Frank came into the season, started to ramp up, do some stuff, and then he had some rib issue. So Taysom been dealing with issues there in the tight end room behind Trautman, who I'm encouraged by Trautman, to be honest with you. To be honest with you, the Saints hanging it on Trautman, but I'm encouraged. I like the fact that he did attend the tight end university, which when he went to go and learn from George Kittle and Travis Kelce and Greg Olsen, the former Chicago Bear and Carolina Panther tight end who used to give us problems back in the day. He went to tight end university and learned some moves and some, ideology coming into he's had a terrific off season, a training camp. He's looked sturdy. He looks really solid as a blocker. He can catch the ball. And then, of course, coming into the preseason games, he's looked pretty decent. So after that terrible sophomore year, I think Trautman is going to – you're going to see the best version of Adam Trautman that we've seen here before. So The Saints are hanging their hat on Troutman. They did bring in a veteran and Chris Herndon to try to push for the spot, but Herndon didn't make any noise. And then behind him, Taysom Hill, we'll see how he look. But Juwan Johnson's another guy a lot of people like. So they got a lot of youth in the tight end room. So it's kind of a feast of famine type situation, you know what I'm saying? But I think Troutman to be fine, man. I think Troutman is going to help out this year. I think he's really going to step up and do some stuff for the Saints in a positive fashion, man. I'm looking forward to see Juwan Johnson out there doing his thing. I think his statistics last year would have been a lot better if he wouldn't been constantly deactivated or by Coach Payton toward the back end of the season when Payton was giving healthy inactives for Juwan Johnson, saying he needs people to play special teams, so he'll just deactivate him. And he was healthy, good to go. And one of the guys I just don't really care about is Vannett, because I think Vannett it needs to improve. He's 6'7". He needs to learn how to get tougher and start catching the ball over 5'11" and 6 foot cornerbacks if he's thrown, or 6 foot linebackers. If he's thrown the ball, he needs to toughen up there. But outside of that, man, I think really the tight end room, we'll see how it goes. But I think Troutman will respond this year. I think Juwan Johnson looks good. Should be all right this year. We'll see, bro. We'll see how it goes. But the Saints have a lot of weapons everywhere else, and I think Troutman will do just fine right up under that second layer of weapons, because you got all these other guys running out there. And Troutman, and remember, Jameis likes to go to his tight end, so I think this is the year we'll see the best version of Troutman we ever seen before. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Patrick says, no cue, the Raiders cut. He says, why aren't they looking at him? No cue, the Raiders cut their offensive tackle. Why aren't we looking at him? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think the Saints like who they got. They picked up this guy off the that got waived by the Buffalo Bills, and they put him on the active roster. And the Saints, as it stands, have 4 backup linemen right now, and I think that's it. They're not going to go for another one unless they release somebody. I think they're cool with who they got right now. I was surprised by Lewis Kidd, but he's on the team right now, so maybe they make a move later on. We'll see. All right, Tragic says, Ramsey, next time Q open the lines, I have the exclusive interview. All right. All right. All right, Tragic, I'll make sure I do that, fam. All right. All right, so yeah. Trent says, why Dennis Allen name trending on Twitter? I think because is he weak, man? He doesn't have the balls to coach this team. I wouldn't say that, Trent. I wouldn't say that at all about Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen got the respect of the Saints, especially the veterans. I mean, remember, he's not like a guy that nobody knows. He's a guy he's the type of coach. Dennis Allen has gotten to the position where he's the head coach, which I was telling the Hoodats that, listen, you're going to have to watch how he coaches this year, because it's not going to be like Coach Payton. You're going to see Dennis Allen walking down the sideline with his arms folded, looking at the game, every now and again talking to a player or two, just observing the game as a head coach. And the last so many odd years, we'll see Coach Payton calling plays. He'll be next to Carmichael, calling plays, talking to the quarterback, and other things is going on. He's not talking because he's so focusing on play calling and calling the plays and pointing to, you see what I'm saying? Dennis Allen will allow his coordinators to run and do what they need to do. He'll oversee the game plan, but then he'll allow Pete Carmichael to make the plays, to make the calls. I'm pretty sure he'll override some calls he don't like. He had the power to override, but he'll be for the most part, he'll be hands off and allow Carmichael to do his thing, to allow the defensive coordinators, Ryan Nielsen and Coach Richard, to do their thing, and the special teams coach to do his thing as well. So I think we'll have to get used to that style of coaching. But I think Dennis Allen is a guy that a lot of the defensive players are familiar with, the offensive players, because he's been there for the last 10 years. You know, so, and he has the previous experience. He's been there and he knows what to do. That's right. So the organization respects him. The veterans on the team respect him. Jameis, the quarterback, respects him. He talks really highly of him. Cam talks highly of him. DeMario talks highly of him. So the veterans, the most respected Saints veterans on the team, respect Dennis Allen. They are riding with him 100%. So I wouldn't call Dennis Allen a weak coach. Maybe they making fun of the way he glides across the field like he's stepping on a cloud. I mean, maybe that's it. But outside of him, Dennis Allen is not a weak ass coach, man. That's wrong. That's wrong. All right. Yeah, I don't think he's a weak coach, bro. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say that. Yeah, Nola Ball say he needs a walking coach. No, I think he comfortable doing just what he doing, man. I think he comfortable doing just what he doing, man. What's up, Mr. Fire D? Shout out to you, bro. Good to see you. What's up, KB, baby? Shout out to you. Good to see you, Queen. Shout out. What's up, Mocha? Shout out. He said, which means we won't have a head coach who would be calling plays because of his ego. Yeah, it says a lot when you are a head coach and you allow your offensive coordinators, these are your guys. You asked them to be here. You gave them the job. It means a lot when you can trust these guys to run the game plan and you just sit there and oversee. You know, that's big. And what that does is, like I've been saying for years, that brings accountability back, because you can hold the offensive coordinator responsible for a bad game plan. You know, that stuff, they couldn't do that to Sean Payton. You challenge him on his play calling a lot, he get upset with you. He'll get all nutsy and antsy with the reporters that will ask him about certain questions. So they had to handle him with kid gloves many times because he would just get upset. I remember when old girl was here. What's her name, man? She left. But she was trying to make her name. She just got down here. And she was trying to make her name, and Peyton was talking to her all kind of rough. Next question. I'm like, what? And then, nobody said, no, I was the only one trying to take up for the lady. Like, man, why you talking to that lady like that? Because she asked you a question. But that he had a lot of them domesticated. That's the truth. That he had a lot of who that people domesticated. But I was asking, no, you ain't going to sit up here and do that. You going to answer these goddamn questions. You ain't above being questioned. And that's how I handled it. That's how I talked it. Oh, you can't talk about Peyton like that. Why not? Why? Who the hell is he? Who is he? Your savior? Who is it? No, that's the coach. Nah, bro, cut that out, bro. You ain't supposed to act like that. You're supposed to be able to question anybody. You're supposed to question anybody. Sean says, Q, do you see any games you consider a trap game on our schedule? Yeah, week 1. Week 1 against the Falcons. Why, Q? Because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is week 2. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, they them dogs set up a trap game straight out the gate. With Atlanta, we got Atlanta. Oh, they garbage. That's what the who that's saying. And looking over their shoulder at Tampa Bay to get sniffing to knock Tom Brady in the grass. You know what I'm saying? We looking at Tom Brady. Nah, yeah, that first game, bro. That for real. Atlanta ain't nothing. And then you go up there and lose to them because we overlooking them, looking to get at Tampa Bay. Oh yeah, that first week 1. That you see what I'm saying, bro? Week 1. Hell yeah. Tampa Bay is week 2, fam. Week 2 is Tampa. So I was like, yeah, hell yeah, week 1. Yeah, no doubt about it. Thank you, Sean. Usually say if folks on outside judging DA's respect level by a clip of him walking, they don't understand the dynamics of earned respect within a locker room. Yeah, that's total novice speak, bro. When people do that, bro. You gotta listen to we listen to Dennis Allen's many articles and see how he conducting business. You talk to the players around him, and how he does, and you can just look at the job that he did as a defensive coordinator. He's earned his respect. It's not like he's some flashy coach coming from college or somewhere and coming in here and say, just because I did this over here, I demand respect. No, he earned his respect in that building. He earned that job. He earned it. He turned the defense around. And listen, that was a big thing. Give Dennis Allen his credit. Give him his flowers, because Dennis Allen turned that same defense around, man, and made that defense the strength of the team. Did you hear me? The last time we seen the Saints defense as the strength of the team, you going back to the Dome Patrol. You hear me? You going back to the Dome Patrol when the Saints defense was the strength of the team. For years, it was the offense running the show. For years. And then now with that, a lot of that is because of Dennis Allen's philosophy and what he brought here, the stability over the last 10 years. That a lot of that is DA. So he earned his respect in this building, and people need to give that man his respect. They need to give him his respect. You know what I'm saying? That's all I know. All right. Sean says, Q, I've been thinking the exact same thing. One meeting against Atlanta. Yeah, we got Atlanta up first. And I'm telling you, we don't want to overlook Atlanta, because Atlanta is capable of beating you. You just have to play down to the level of competition, not respect who these guys are. And they feeling real hot and heated in that first game because they got something to grind. Remember, a lot of these teams that are not really playoff teams, they burn bright early in the season. They come out the gate smoking hot. They get all their family base all in the tizzy. We go into, and then they fall off the cliff by middle of the year. They start off too fast and they burn bright. They burn themselves out, and they start off winning 3 or 4 games, and then they finish the season with 5 or 6 wins. They burn out. So you see this happen all the time. This could be Atlanta. They can fire out the gates and find magic early, but can't sustain it. You see what I'm saying? So we got to watch out for stuff like that. We have to play these teams one game at a time and not get caught up in the bull crap, because the media going to be pushing, man, the Saints, we got Atlanta, but the Saints, boy, we can't wait for week 2 to see. Yeah, man, all that kind of stuff, that gets you in trouble. That gets you beat. All right, what's up? What's up, 985J in the building? What's up, 985? Good to see you, brother. Hope everything going all right for you, man. Hadn't seen you in a long time, bro. Much love to you, bro. Much love. All right, JT said that's the number one reason I started listening to the Sports Coma, because he says, because you was Q, you didn't hold back on. You said everything I felt. Keep up the good work. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, bro, people didn't like that. They were like, man, who the hell is this guy that challenged Coach Payton? I was like, man, are you crazy? This guy's a football coach. What are you talking about? Are y'all crazy? So I had to remind people that the power wasn't Payton, it was you. It was you supporting the team. Supporting the team. Payton did what he was supposed to do. He came in here, he took the resources that was given into him, and he created something beautiful. But it don't end with Coach Payton. It carries on. It carries on and on and on and on and on. And do you think Coach Payton could go in another building and create the kind of success he had with the Saints? He'd be hard pressed to do that, fam, because you have to find lightning striking the same way and find an environment that's conducive for that type of growth. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes these guys be thinking, yeah, I can recreate that somewhere else, and then they fall woefully short because they underestimate the environment of where they went to get that done. It's a bit of magic to a large degree. When you're not expected to do anything, but then you overachieve, that's one thing. But then you come into an environment where you're expected to overachieve, that's a whole nother. Think about that for a second. Think about that. Sean says, Q, my reason is the fact that our defense struggles against mobile QBs. Matt Ryan, we're not familiar with, but Mariota and Ritter in Atlanta, where we are not. Yeah, you don't have very much on them, do you, bro? Do you? So that's why I was saying, yeah. And that's the rationale for the Saints. The containment angle is the Saints have to do a better job in containing mobile quarterbacks. That was our Achilles heels. We struggled against them. We got a bunch of mobile quarterbacks this year, the best ones in the NFL. Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, and who else we got? It's a bunch of them. You name them. Some of the top scrambling quarterbacks in the business. We see them this year, so we got to handle the business. So, all right. Tevin says, Q, do you think Alante start game 1? I'm thinking so, bro. It depends. They've been kind of holding him, kind of being really conservative with his approach. He had that hip flexor several weeks ago, and they've been kind of doing work on the side, but they've been treating James Hurst the same way. We expect James Hurst to start. I think Alante Taylor, if we'll see where he goes, because right now we got reports that Paulson Adebo is dealing with ankle issues. So that's something to watch out too for. So ankle issues on your starting cornerback, a week and a half from the start of the season. And they downplaying it like it's nothing, but ankle injuries on the cornerback, that's not a good thing. So we'll see how that shakes. But I expect Alante Taylor, man, 2nd round grade. Chauncey's not there anymore. And let's see what Alante has. We did it to Paulson Adebo, right? Remember when they got Bradley Roby down here, Paulson Adebo still held the ship, kept it away from him. Nickel position, Alante Taylor, man. We did it to Paulson Adebo. He had trial by fire. Why not for Alante Taylor? Why not? You see? Why not? So okay, Carlos said he practiced today. So why not? Let's try. That's baptism by fire for Alante Taylor, just like we did with Paulson Adebo, right? That's what I'm looking at. So yeah, Sean said I'm not afraid of Lamar because he runs better than he throws. Okay. Lamar gonna do some things this year. Watch. All right. So with that being said, fam, listen, I'm gonna pop out on that. Listen, I appreciate each and every last one of y'all for popping up in the stream on this show, man. We over 2 hours. Please feel free to hit the like button. If you hadn't hit the like button, smash the hell out of the like button. We got almost 200 likes in this thing. Also, like I said, feel free to share the show stream on your social media feed. That helps to Coma out a lot, man. You know, share with other diehard family members. We've been at this thing for quite a while, man, and the family continue to grow, and I'm really proud of that. That we're growing. A lot of hard work we've put in over the years, keeping it real, stating the unpopular commentaries when everybody was saying one thing, we were saying the other thing, and then years later, it's like, you was right. Yeah, because you got to have balls in this game, man. Pardon my speech. You got to have guts in this game. You can't be afraid to speak your mind, man. You got to keep it real and tell it like it is, baby. And that's how you gain a rep. Keep it like it, tell it how it is, baby. Keep it real and tell it, and even if it's not a popular take that people might not like, you stand on it, man, and that's how it go. And people, if it's wrong, they'll know it down the line, but people remember that shit, man. They remember those strong takes. You know, I think a lot of people, man, who this guy talk about Peyton like this, man? You cut it out, man. Been saying that about, you know, calling it real and keeping it is, man. It's, you know, it's not just about foaming at the mouth and falling over backwards when guys, you know what I'm saying? It just, you got to keep it real. Even with the players, with the Who Dat Nation, you got to tell it like it is, man. You got to tell it like it is. And that's one thing I ain't never had no problem with, telling like it is. That's like Lori today was telling Traquan Smith off. Lori was doing, she was Big Q today. Lori was in there. Lori was Big Q today. Lori was in there telling it like it is, cutting Traquan Smith up, and Traquan done ran off the program, man. So there you go. All right, so with that being said, fam, now that'll be it. Feel free to, like I said, share the show stream on your social media feed. Doesn't matter if it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Also, feel free to check out the link tree as well for all of the links. The website, there's the Sports Coma official headquartered website, thewhodatdaily.com. You can find all of our content from college football, pro with the Saints and Pelicans and boxing. All that stuff is available in one location. That's thewhodatdaily.com. Feel free to go over there and subscribe and get that over there. And also check out the merch stores. They're nicely organized in our link tree. You can go there. We got several different merch stores with all kind of merch, hats, shirts, all kind of stuff, man, for the Who Dat Nation. We brought back the Dat Slap shirt with me slapping the hell out the referee saying, stop cheating us. That's a real popular shirt. You can have a mug or a shirt. It's all wall art, coffee mugs, clothing like leggings, socks, all kind of stuff. It's too much stuff to name in the pro shop. So just go there and check it out. So with that being said, I'm going to peace y'all on that. I'm going to see y'all on Thursday stream, family. Y'all have a good rest of your afternoon and a good Thursday. And I'm going to peep up in and holler at y'all tomorrow. Much love to you, and I'm out. Peace.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. I'm a Who Dat. Long as I'm living, I'm a Who Dat. Lose or winning, I'm a Who Dat. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. I'm a Who Dat. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, like this, and I'm a Who Dat. Every day I'm living, I'm a Who Dat. Lose or winning, I'm a Who Dat. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that say they gon' beat them? Say, who that? Who that?
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. Check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform stores where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. So check out